shut up. Bro, shut up. That was a good comment. Tom and Jerry Endgame was a good comment. Wait, is the word showmaker banned in chat? Yep. Why? Why is showmaker plink banned? Let me remove those. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Welcome back, everyone,
I'm sorry,
to the
mods.
World 2023 play-in stage. Today we'll
Okay,
be
the problem
wrapping
is
up
I
our
don't know
bracket,
how to
starting with a
remove them.
Round 1 rematch between LLL and GAM to find out who will move on to the advancement.
I don't know
match and
how
who
to remove
will
them.
be eliminated. As a reminder, as Ashin taught us yesterday, losing equals.
Wait, is Kuru banned as well?
And Raz, 2 teams advanced, 2 teams.
Yow!
GB. You're hyped to
I'll
send
ask
some
in the
people
mod.
home today.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to send people home. I love watching the Olympics where they swim, and that's kind of what we have here, you know.
Swim home if you lose.
I mean, that's what we're
Okay,
expecting.
I asked to get it
Very
unbanned.
hard for BDS. That's a lot for it. I think it's
I have to ask my mods to unban it. Because I don't know how to do it.
So how slow they were. They can overtake him.
I don't know how to do it.
2 more best of 3 today set up. The 2 advancement matches. What you can see on your screen is the entire bracket. Just as a reminder,
Is there...
the 2 teams in the upper bracket will face the opposite group's members in the lower bracket. I believe we have a graphic to show you that.
How do you
right
check
now. Team Wales
where
will
it's
vote
banned?
the GAM or Loud, whoever wins in our first series.
Settings.
PSG will
No.
play the Flying Oysters or BDS, whoever wins
Settings.
in our second series. Raz, what do you make of the matchups?
I love it so far. It's something that I remember. I think I saw it on Twitter. Just someone mentioning that it could just be the rematch of the finals for both
PCS,
VCS and BCS.
yes.
Exactly. So that for me
Okay,
is
well, I don't know how to fix it.
I am looking at BDS.
I don't know how to fix it.
It took me 4 years, one heartfelt message from Caedrel and a couple primes to get here. Heart, thanks for the entertainment.
That means that is CBLOL that has to conquer the VCS to make it to the
Brazil
Swiss.
versus Vietnam.
And the same end on the other side
Okay.
of the bracket, where
I also made... I
VCS,
made the
so
change
it's just
to...
region up against region now.
Now, just so you guys are aware, yesterday Ender predicted BDS losing because he wanted.
Ender
to
predicted
see
BDS
the
losing?
VCS matchup. He predicted Loud losing because he wanted to see the VCS.
What?
So he wanted
Ender?
to watch the world burn. Before we get into the matchups, I thought it would be fun to have a little bit of a history rundown as the representative old man of every broadcast ever.
Shut the fuck up with
wanted
your
to take you
base
back to
spam.
a magical moment for the CBLOL, for Brazil. I do this for Kaboom! When they took down Alliance, Tinones was on that roster.
Oh,
Arguably
Kaboom!
the first-
Oh,
the
in
first
season
tick, the
fucking
first
2.
win, the first milestone
That ain't
for
happening
the
again.
emerging regions versus the major regions.
BDS
but it didn't
win.
stop there.
It makes you a believer.
Wait,
right?
is Loud against
That
BDS?
one was one thing that hurt the hearts of. A
No,
lot
they were
of
against
European
GAM.
fans.
Self-included.
Oh.
I'll talk about one team that hurt
Never
the
mind.
hearts of me as a.
Yeah,
as an
sure, guys,
LPL
you can do it
fan,
again.
and it was INTZ that upset EDG in 2016. That one killed me. That one shook things up quite a bit, and
Look
made
at
it a
the
lot more
players'
interesting within the booth.
reactions.
Yes.
Yeah, you can do it
The
again.
boys, Revolta, Yang, Talkers, Macau, like that team was so amazing to see. There's right now actually still content creators, so a lot of respect to them right now. They're probably watching Worlds right now, seeing their faces on the screen.
But I really also think it's a contrast to the kind of Loud that we have now, because before then it was really just about beating these single teams, and that was a success.
Caedrel, why
Now
do
you
girls
actually
not
have
like me?
opportunities
Help.
to make a successful story of your run, and that's not just huge for the region of CBLOL. That's huge for Loud. That has become such a resurgence in Brazil. Now 3 times back to back, taking the title there as well, making it to the internationals.
I
This
don't
is a
know.
trajectory
I don't
that's
know.
just going on.
But-
And once again, not
but-
just for CBLOL, but for Loud specifically. That's such a social
Girls,
phenomenon.
whether they
For the
like you or
region, for
not,
anybody that
doesn't
has watched
decide
international events, pretty much every
your
side
worth
world
as
was
a
represented
person.
by one
Okay?
Brazilian team, and then it would change the
Fuck
next
'em.
year, and it would change
That's
the
what I
next
say.
year, and it would change
Fuck
the
'em.
next year. You know,
Okay.
we've had Red Canids, we've had
Queue up
Flamenco,
some solo
we've had
queue,
Loud, we've had Pain.
download
Every
some
occasion.
fun
Now we've had
games,
about 3 years in a row.
eat some
See what they
tasty
can do.
breakfast
Obviously,
and
they've got tough
food,
matches ahead of them.
hit the
Let's turn our
gym,
attention to the other
get a
side of the
fucking
bracket
good
because
job.
BCS,
Fuck
they've
'em.
been able to punch above their weight, I think,
Okay?
quite regularly. I think
Don't
every
sit
side
there
to
every
come
night
out of the
depressed that you're
semifinals
not going to be
is a good
liked by a
example of
girl.
that. And I think
Because then you're
when we look at the
manifesting
BCS and sort of the #1 representatives,
like you're,
they've
it's
tended to always
affecting
be
the
better
rest
than
of your
the rest
life.
of the emerging regions, but
Okay?
still sort
It's
of
affecting the
struggle
rest of your
against
life
some major regions.
because
Yeah, I
you're
think that's
sad
at
that
least
you're
the
not liked by the girl.
Caedrel
Okay?
trying to figure
Bro,
out
fuck 'em.
settings on the PC is
Just
like watching
eat some
a
nice
teacher
food,
struggling
get a
to
nice
play
job,
video on
go
the
to the gym,
projector.
play some fun games, and one day some girl will be like, damn, that guy's kind of fun.
But once they
And then
make it to
boom,
the
the girl
Swiss
will
stage
like you.
or actually main stage
Okay,
of the other times,
don't try
they
and
just struggle.
chase the girl,
But
chase
now
the
finally feels
enjoyment,
like
and the girl
there's
will come
always
with
this
it.
threat about a PCS team where if they just get the right roster, the right members together, they can always make a deep run, and that's the hope you always
But
have.
don't get addicted to like
It's funny. Every
snooze
group
or hard
draw,
drugs
it's
or
the
anything
same
stupid.
thing. They see a PCS team drawn into their group and they think, oh, this one should be easy, right?
Yeah.
I remember seeing the 100 Thieves one last year and then they dropped the game to CFO. That stuff tends to happen. So I love the fact that
What are my man's G2 up to?
PSG, that was when they had people on the roster last week.
Easy win for BDS. Adam is easily the best top laner in the world. I heard that yesterday the Shy asked Adam for coaching sessions after
The
Worlds.
eventual world champions and now the first seed in FPX. We saw this from PSG actually, if I remember correctly. I'm thinking this one through. Oh yeah, actually it was the same one you mentioned. But basically from the group stage because people were sleeping on them. but
Wait, that's the whole
man
team. I thought that someone was
trying to
missing.
qualify going to the next
Bro,
round.
G2 getting good at that game or what?
I'm always excited to see
Is it a free-for-all?
Speed on Vietnam very quickly
There's
because I think
T1
Grace
screaming
and
right there, and they
Buffaloes
can just hear them
will
going,
find
ugh,
Buffalo.
outside.
The Demon of G2. GAM, they also eliminated Top Esports last year. I think the VCS, in my head, I always think of them as like a one-team region. I always kind of have this feeling that it's the number one seed
Is it
that
3v3?
makes impacts in GAM, especially back when they were Marines.
Oh, Caps.
That was the team.
Oh, Hansama! Oh, Hansama!
That's necessarily true for the actual region itself. Now, Team Secret could have easily been here as well if you wait.
Handsama.
But also,
Caps'
if you think
outfit
back
goes
2021
hard as
back
hell.
MSI, they couldn't even send
Wait,
their
does it?
first seed when they finally qualified back after COVID. They sent their second seed at the time. And I think we have this
Shut the
of
fuck
GAM now
up.
specifically because of what happened at MSI when they lost to R7. how
Yo, he's
they
just
looked.
chilling in
But
his
then
clothes,
Team
man.
Wales came in
He
here
don't
and
need
set
he don't need
on
any
the
he don't
format
need
we
the
had.
fucking
Because if
he
we
don't
did
need
not have the
drip.
format, I saw the Reddit
Okay,
comments
just
on
he doesn't
social
need
media.
drip.
They were just,
Cap
"Why
just
is
needs
VCS
fucking
having
elo
two
and
seeds?"
wins.
And I kind of got it from the first day.
Nothing
You
wrong
kinda
with
need
that.
to temper your expectations a bit and see for the rest of the tournament as well. And that's kind
Nothing
of what
wrong
Team
with
Wales
that,
showed
buddy.
then moving forward, and specifically this format. They are just really good.
I want to talk a little bit more about VCS in a moment or two, but let's get to the pre-match.
You know, I
Today's
think
first series.
Bayana will
It's
have
an
more viewers
explosive
in the
rematch
mainstream
in
today
that
because
scoreline. As the Penta
Brazil
Kings,
is playing.
Root and Slater
Love you,
are facing off in
Caedrel.
our featured matchup presented by Mercedes.
Love you too, little bruv. Drip is temporary, elo is forever. True.
In today's featured matchup,
True.
presented by
If you
Mercedes
hit
Benz,
Challenger,
we have
you
two
hit
teams
Challenger.
hungry to prove
If you have a
themselves.
t-shirt,
This showdown between
you will
Loud
lose the
and GAM
t-shirt
is
or it'll
to
go
determine
dirty
who
or it'll
moves
get
on to
washed
face
too
the
much.
surprise team of the play-in stage, Team Wales. On day one, Loud's Root demolished Slater in the 1v1 and managed to secure a penta.
Oh yeah, the Discord pick'ems. The Discord pick'ems. Hold up.
Looking to deliver
Hold up.
CB LOL to
Hold
the
up. I just
Swiss
leaked the mod
best
chat.
of 5.
Fuck! Mod,
Slater
Twitch
was
mods, I'm
the
sorry.
VCS shining AD carry, and yesterday he delivered with his own pentakill.
It's a quadra kill for Slater. Pentakill for Slater.
Okay, Gam and Loud.
Kills here in the play.
It's up to him to prove that he can stand
Who's
up
gonna
to
win
Root
between
in
Gam
a
and
matchup
Loud?
this time? Who will carry on the hopes of their region?
Wait.
And which team will emerge victorious?
67% of
Find out
you
in
voted
just a
Loud.
moment. Just before we continue, can I ask everyone to please say thank Penta Penguin?
Let's go,
That's 3 for 3. All 3 pentakills by Oshin. I'm not jealous at all. Root versus Slater. This is again a rematch from that round 1. Root definitely got the better end of the deal in the first time these two teams match up. I think Slater has looked better. I think the whole team has. But I mean, my expectations are still that Root has the advantage.
I don't know, Gam was kind of
Yeah,
bronze.
better deal, or is he just
And I
straight
also
up the
think
better
their AD
player?
carry
Because
sucks.
That's what it looked like when they were playing against each other the first time, and that's also what I believe.
I think their AD
there's a
carry
big
sucks.
mismatch
And
in
then
the bot lane.
BDS
I think
rolls that
Slater,
team easy.
Even going up against an R7 where he did improve, he was still outclassed by the likes of Root.
Oh, it's true. I think Slater is the worst
that's
AD on the
gonna be
tournament.
struggles today.
What I love about Root, to your point, is that he trusts his instincts. Day one, a lot of people nervous. He just goes and tests the limit.
You can do exclamation mark
I have
Discord
a
in
lot
the
more
chat,
faith in
join the
Slater this time
Discord,
around.
and you can
Yes,
vote as well
worse
on who you
competition
think
when they
will
went up
win.
against R7, but I thought his team fighting was much more better. I thought their draft actually helped him out quite a bit, and the team really supported him in team fights. So set up for success, and he himself was just straight up playing better. So I think this is going to be a little bit
Wait,
closer
today is day
going
5
into
of
this
Worlds?
Yeah, but
Oh
no, the thing
shit.
is, I need to see what sort of impact that mentality or that first series defeat will have on GAM, because
Will you
they did have
co-stream the
game two that
series
was
tomorrow
better,
at
but
5
take a
AM?
Look at the stats here for Slater individually.
Yes, I will.
Versus Loud versus
Yes,
Loud,
I
his
will.
day and night damage per minute is up. His CSD is better. His average goal difference is better. But obviously, when you're getting dumpstered losing like 1v2s to a Kaiser, you're going to have very bad stats.
Yeah, you know, obviously, and I think they look better. You're winning the team here, but
Don't get sucked into his stats. He played against R7. R7 was...
It was actually lower in the
Bro.
win, which also meant that the rest of the map for
That was
GAM
disgusting,
stepped up
that
in
gameplay.
You can join the Discord and be called apes by Seed Mill Mods in mod chat.
So I'm curious to
We'll
see if
take
it's just
our
gonna be
business
stable thing or
elsewhere.
something where the rest of the map was gonna have to step
GB,
up.
I'm going to channel my social media, my Reddit voice. GAM got destroyed by Loud. GAM were embarrassed by Loud. Loud were so much, a million times the better team. Respond.
But I think that would be the comment if you had only watched Game 1. I think a lot of people forget about Game 2, where GAM was actually leading this game. They were up 5k. This mid-dive in
It's the
specifically,
rematch between
I think it's like 20 minutes into the game around
and
that they pick up Baron after
GAM.
this. When you watch this in-game, you think to yourself, okay, the game is over. There's no way Loud will come back in this. Then they have Baron, and then GAM starts sieging. You look at the map state right now. Kiaya is still in the river.
I mean, GAM is. I think GAM overall is better, but I think their AD is just so much worse. Like Root, this guy is mental.
They lose this game
He's
just
really
because
good.
of one of these overextensions. That's something that's been plaguing GAM for a long time. You can take a look at the post-game breakdown. Look at the goal grab.
Like Robo is gonna struggle a bit because Kiaya is really good. Levi is fine.
Game 1 was a blowout in Game 2.
But I don't know, the biggest gap is bot, I think.
Have improved.
And even in the blowout, it really stemmed from bot lane.
It's a bot gap.
Where Kiaya was stomping through top lane, and they were. If this was a much more standard game, it would have been fine for GAM, and they would have actually had a lead in the first 8 minutes. But that, of course, that's where our eyes do go bot lane, because it feels like that's another terrible spot. And even in the win that they had versus
Poiny and
R7,
Yonside, thanks for the subs.
the only thing I'm looking at is Levi. Levi's early game was a little bit troublesome.
Before we dive into Levi's position, I want to go back to the top lane, because something that has caught my eye, especially when we were preparing for
Chat.
today, was watching back the VODs. In my
How
head,
are you feeling?
I just have a pretty blank
How are you
statement.
feeling?
Guy is better
6
than
is
Robo.
good, 9 is
And I
bad.
just want to validate that.
Tell
Like,
me how
if
you're
I were to
feeling
say
right
that
now.
outright, how
Give
would
me
you
your thoughts
respond?
and feelings.
We've got stats on the screen that are going to help back me up, but what do you see
Bored.
from
Why are you
the
bored?
gameplay side of things, Raz?
It's understandable,
life?
and I think I will say Levi is helping out Kiaya a lot more, while Robo is on an
I can-
island.
I can-
and
I
that's
can-
kind of
wait,
his
hold up.
role. But there's a lot of faith in Kiaya. You talk to
Life's
his coaching
fucked.
staff, there's a reason for that. For Robo, he's actually
6
having a lot of
cups.
trouble around counter picks
6
around
cups.
Renekton. If he's picking Renekton, then he's feeling pretty troubled by the Kennen and Rumble counter picks. And guess what Kiaya is playing? He's playing the Rumble, and he's honestly, this was actually the first sight that we saw in Game 1 where he
6,
dumpstered
but
Robo
10 out
in
of
this
10
one.
pro
So
stream. My granddad has a
I
harder
want to see a little
person
bit
to
more support for Robo early.
sending
getting
you my
the
love.
Rumble,
I'm sending you my love.
Renekton pick, because he doesn't want to play the Rumble and Kennen. If he has Olaf, fantastic, but teams have been banning that away from him.
Absolutely, and you know, it was something that PSG was.
Wait, I should
kind of
probably
accusing
get a,
against Loud as well, where they kept playing off towards the top side. Robo,
Should I get a
traditionally
coffee?
speaking, didn't get too many resources, even in some of the best performances he
Yeah,
had.
let's get a
even
coffee.
Back to the now 1v2 he had in CB lore.
That's true.
He
Let's
did
get a
not have
coffee, good
laning
idea.
phase. He was behind in that laning phase, and they came back by team fight.
You know what I
which is
realized?
what
Okay, so
Loud does.
for those of you who don't
But
know,
against
I
many
did
teams as
snooze
well,
a lot
where if
in
you
the last few
give
days.
them the early game, they will take it
In
into
the last
late
week,
game.
and
That's when Loud
snooze
starts
is a
dropping
nicotine
in, they
pouch.
cannot
So
get
what
ahead
you do
of
is you
them.
put it in your
That's
mouth
where Robo
and
needs to
it
stabilize.
injects nicotine in you,
I think
okay?
it's really curious. I was joking even with producers backstage
Now,
as well that the feature match of the day should be
basically,
Kiaya
what that
versus
means
Slater,
when you
because
do
that's
that
where
is
I
your
have a
heart,
mismatch in
your
this game.
heart
Okay, so
goes
I want to build on that in a second, and I wanna first check in with the
because
fans at
you're
home who they are
nicotining.
predicting to win in our Mastercard fan predictions.
Now,
Each day you can
if
head over
you
to
nicotine
@Mastercard
combo
on X
with
to
coffee,
participate. Loud have got 68.9%.
it's the most fucking
GAM,
degenerate ass fucked up shit ever.
31%. I do think
You
Zone
get
CBL got
absolutely
more
cooked,
Twitter,
Pedro.
X,
You're a
region,
hot,
whereas to
and
my
that's what I was
knowledge,
doing
GAM is a little bit
like
more
every day. I was coffee
oriented.
and I
Now
was
we see, will this actually show
I
up?
was
Do you
coffee
favor
plus
Loud and GAM? As this will
snoozing.
disappear, I'm gonna
It was
ask you to
horrible.
bring some
It was
drafts up on
terrible.
screen.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about this
Um,
mismatch. That top is going to be favoring GAM. Obviously, bot we think is favoring Loud. How do you think they'll play on the game? How do you think they'll
I'm
play
not doing
the
that
whole
anymore,
offense?
but I
We don't
haven't
wanna
had
see Malphite again. Let's get rid of
I
that.
haven't had
But Rez, that comes to you
coffee
first.
in a few
That one
days
is-
because I
yeah,
stopped
the nasty
zazaing.
one. Because this one is really confusing. So the Rumble pick, this is in Game 2 where they felt like they couldn't pick Rumble because of the
I
Kennen
stopped
and,
zazaing, so I didn't get as
pick.
much coffee in
And
my
then when
body.
you go into
Let's
5, he's
go,
like, let me
man.
pick for team comp. You see a Kennen, and in
Let's go
general,
loud!
this is pretty heavy
Exclamation
AP.
mark 1.
Just really rough.
Were you ever
and
a
so he ended
smoker?
up getting
No.
dove, already was behind prior to
The only
that,
thing I
and he was
smoked in
getting
my
bullied
life
for
was the
rest of
Zaza
game.
once or twice.
This one, I think, is a little bit closer to where I
let's
should
go,
see them.
man. I never
regrettably,
smoked
because of
cigarettes,
the
though.
limited champion pool that he has.
Siggy
I
and
never liked
coffee
it.
is my
We've got a
breakfast
minute to
every
go.
day.
Fair.
From what we've seen, what do you
Yes.
want to see, and who do you think will win?
If Rumble is picked or is available, I want it to be
But yeah,
picked
if you
by
do like, I think it's called a
Unfortunately, I
prostitute's
do
breakfast,
favor
isn't
GAM
it,
this
or
time
something?
around. I think
Is
they
that
are
the name of
playing
it?
much
Isn't that the
better
name
and
they
are
label
slowly
it? It's a
getting
coffee and
comfortable in
a
the tournament.
coffee and a
So I'd say
cigarette or
it's gonna be
something. Isn't
2-0.
that the name of it?
Ooh, leaning towards GAM. What do you
Yeah.
make of this?
I think
What do you
there's
wanna see
no
from
Bro,
Bro,
way this is
don't
gonna be
ever
2-0. I think
do
it's way too
don't
shady
ever
when
have
they go for
coffee
these
and
specific
smoke
drafts
or
specifically.
coffee and
I don't know.
nicotine
I think they're
pouches.
gonna be
It's
more stable on the top
bro.
side.
Do
Kiaya
you
might
smoke
go
it
grab the
during
side
your
again for himself
pickings?
and then hopefully play a better matchup. I
That
think
fucks you.
GAM this time around will have a better edge, specifically from what I saw in that game 2. I think the game 1 it should never happen again where Route just takes over and hopefully they're more stable. I can see GAM take it 2-1. I want to manifest the VCS rematch.
But I always, you know why? I don't know why, but I've gaslit myself into believing that coffee is not healthy. But it's not unhealthy, like it's but I've gaslit myself into believing that it's bad for me.
Yes? Yes? So you still want to manifest VCS. Okay, I'm with Raz on this one because he agreed with what I'm landing on.
Oh, okay,
that
there
does
we go.
it from
I
us
like
here at
this.
the desk. We've got a Loud and a GAM prediction. That does it. It's time to head up to Lol Park for Loud versus GAM.
It is bad? Oh, really? Is it?
Acho que a derrota é bem importante assim para você conseguir evoluir, não só como profissional, mas como ser humano também. Então eu sinto que o nosso grupo, quando a gente perde, a gente se junta, a gente fica mais unido do que a gente era. Eu sei que a gente ainda não tá fora.
Tới lúc trên kia thì cũng có hơi vui, nhưng mà mục tiêu hiện tại của bản thân em cũng như là GAM là chiến thắng và mọi thứ khác không quan trọng, và chỉ cần chiến thắng thôi.
Jogar com a GAM de novo acho que vai ser bem desafiador. Eu sinto que eles estavam um pouco nervosos quando eles jogaram contra a gente, principalmente no primeiro jogo.
Yo, Aren! Thanks for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. You're
Theo em
crazy.
đánh giá thì Lao có những tuyển thủ khá là tốt. Theo em nghĩ thì nếu như mà bản thân em và GAM thể hiện đúng thực lực của chính mình thì GAM sẽ chiến thắng trước Lao.
Thank you for the 10 gifted subs.
Enquanto a gente estiver de pé,
You're
a
a
gente vai continuar
psychopath.
lutando, sem medo.
Vamos todos dar nosso melhor. Good luck. Good luck.
Pentakill for Crowny!
And they find themselves a day
BDS!
CFO.
The Korean solo queue really improved me. I think my landing improved, my mechanics improved.
16 with the
I
goat.
played against
Mechanics.
pros from SCK.
首先，我们的选手就可能心态都特别好，就输了也不会有什么气氛之类的，然后就大家
Holy fuck, it's rough out here, man. The amount of shit on the floor and like on my desk is getting out of hand.
做得更好，这是我们团队强的部分。
People who have way more worlds experience than me told me the most important
It's
thing.
disgusting.
Really try to stay connected as a team and keep your trust in each other.
印象是
Show us? I don't know if you want to see
整
this.
个团队的默契都配合比他们好，然后就整个团队打起来都很像一个团队，对这个印象很深刻。
From
It's
now
rough
on,
out
and
here.
Every game matters. Every game could be our last one. So I'm just giving it my all, trying to play with confidence. With
It's
no
rough!
regrets.
I should have
如
cleaned
果
up.
想清楚，应该没有那么难处理。
CFO, good luck in our next match, but make no mistake, we are going to win.
It ain't good. It ain't good. It ain't good. Yeah, it's spreading to the second table. It ain't good.
Hello and welcome to the Caster Desk for this incredible series between Loud and GAM. I'm Draco.
GAM.
This is my brother from another father. Different moms. Actually, different moms, same. Different moms, same dad. It's complicated how exactly we're related.
But we found each other in the casting booth.
Been talking about family history today. You're not going to learn any of that. You're going to learn about League of Legends instead.
No 23andMe.
From
No
another father?
23andMe, baby. Just World's 23andMe.
Ooh.
And Mark C. Hey, let's go.
Oh,
Get ready
Draco's
for
with
this
the
game.
bars.
Not sure what to expect here. The desk, a bit divided on what to expect. The fans clearly very much in favor of Loud. Doesn't surprise me that much given the X presence from Brazil.
Yeah, a lot of Brazil fans.
Draco's
and of course
Caedrel
they
aware.
did win
Draco's
the
found
first
a new
matchup
mark.
on day one, which gives
Yeah,
them
he
a
found
bit
a new
of
mark.
leg up in a lot of people's estimations. But I think that was a very poor showing from GAM from what we can expect from them. I think maybe day one nerve, something like that, and they looked
Why
better.
weren't you in
Still not
Dracos'
fully
music video?
confident in them to win the series based off yesterday's showing, but it was
mean
at
the
least
one
a
with the
step up.
bathtub? I
Slater
wasn't
looked
at
a lot better. He was someone who had a really rough day one when people were expecting him to have a good showing.
Yeah, well, he did ultimately, you know, one of the Penta Kings, as Quickshot called him, playing like
He
a popper.
found a better
some
mark.
Of those moments.
Ah,
Highly
oh,
questionable.
he
And
found a
so
better
far
mark.
Has seemed very defined. At least
Shut up,
playing
Rat.
as a whole, very defined by how good your AD carry is. Outside of, you know, some of the cheeky Adam games
Mark
where he's been
left
able to take
Dracos.
over. It's been a lot about these Kai'Sa's eyes, as is usually the case when they're in the meta. So curious to
It's
see
not about
what will happen
leaving. It's
as
about
we jump into
moving
picks
on.
and bans.
Okay?
What are they going to ban away? What will they take away? Will we see any Ezreal today? I hope not. Nope. especially for BDS fans coming later in the day. They don't want to see that. I think Ezreal's priority, what will happen, is when Ruler gets on the stage and plays Ezreal, suddenly people will be like, wow, this champ's busted. But we'll see. That's for another time.
A tale as old as time, my friend. Everyone convinced they can play a champion because they see someone just so casually dominate on stage with it. Very rarely actually the case. Fans for now, nothing too crazy. Poppy, Renekton, Jax, a lot of top lane focus, which does make a decent amount of sense. You heard again on the desk, discrepancy between the top laners.
No Cloud Drake's Preach.
Robo
Yeah,
had a surprisingly good series.
Alright, Jax Ben, perfect. You love to see it.
Obviously the overwhelming positive
for the pick'ems.
Fan sentiment in his favor. When you look at the
gonna get him Rel Ben.
Much more about route, but maybe he can look to replicate some of his more impressive performances.
Yeah, I think
Talia Ben is not bad.
Flip energy
Actually, no, never mind. It's GAM.
Well. You know, the top laners who sometimes just go absolutely off and carry a game by themselves. Sometimes they let it get a little away from them. And
Orianna
I think the Renekton ban is interesting coming out of
Xayah,
GAM.
Rel, Kai'Sa.
I think I have a deeper champion pool.
I'm surprised that Kai'Sa wasn't picked much on day one, but now people are picking Kai'Sa more and more.
That lingering,
which is good.
Crocodile hatred for some reason. I personally think he's a very, very strong pick. But this time around, Xayah.
Yeah, Xayah, unsurprising. Question is,
Bong rips plus Caedrel co-stream W.
Surprised to see Rakan at this point. You could wait on
I think
your
Cassante
KD,
can be quite strong now with
anyway.
actually Rumble can be quite strong.
Rakan plus jungler would be my guess, since there's
Rakan,
no rush
yeah,
to
Rakan
pick your
OP.
support or your AD at this point.
Rakan denial, no surprise.
Yeah, the Rakan takeaway feels like a must. We have seen a couple games now where people do not do it and are swiftly punished. Okay, unkillable Xayah and Rakan with absolutely free.
Chat, is brown sugar healthier than white sugar?
Let two strong characters be even stronger together. Why would you do that? It just doesn't make any sense.
You maybe didn't want to win that game.
There's Kai'Sa.
That's fair. You never
No.
know.
Sometimes you just pass on the
We
wins.
talk a lot in competition about how both sides want to win. We rarely talk about the...
But like, how certain are you of that
how
statement?
certain are you?
When
Am
you
I
make that
sure?
statement, that's an assumption.
Don't you just wake up sometimes and go, I want to lose?
That's a
Based
myth.
on solo queue, I would guess that a lot of League of Legends players do wake up and say that to themselves. But maybe that's
I think
overly
Talia can be a
pessimistic
good mid
for
pick
now.
here. Talia not.
Kai'Sa.
Lee Sin, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I thought that white sugar was processed sugar and brown sugar is not processed sugar, so it's a bit better.
It's not. You could go to bed. You could just
Lee Sin Nautilus like
a
it,
champion and get kicked out and have to
Get
wait
out
for
of
6
get
minutes.
out of Korea, go home, lay down.
but they're both sugar.
Anyway,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so Kai'Sa Rakan as
Yeah, but
expected.
that's like
Rakan
saying
took the
bread,
score on the
okay?
opposite
White
side.
bread
Again,
is
Nautilus
unhealthy,
Lee
but
Sin
brown
pretty
bread
standard.
is
Lee Sin
fine.
who,
No?
As
Fact.
always in the history of Lee Sin, can be pretty feast or famine. I'm concerned
Okay,
about
get
Rakan
me-
because again, feels like one of the more
What can I pick here?
unreliable
Jungle.
components of the
Yeah, I
Loud
told you
formula,
Cassante is
but
pretty OP.
a champion who, if you do show up, if you do pop off, can obviously be game defining.
He's a big vibe champion. I think if you're confident playing well, you can style on people.
This
and
chat's
Levi
going too
has
fast,
played
so I'll
the
convince
Lee Sin as
myself
well
that
a
I'm
couple
right.
times, so maybe also a bit of a takeaway there. The jungle meta feels a little in flux. I think people know Malachi
Yeah, I don't think
is
anyone's
strong,
surprised
and
by
you
this.
No. Continue your point.
Okay.
I held up my hands like I was going to say something because I have a follow-up to your statement.
Okay, so I was just going to say, it feels like the power rankings might flip
I mean,
around
GAM
in the
can
future. I
ban
think Lee Sin can be strong. Jarvan
Ari
is,
LeBlanc?
you know, one of these
No.
pick ban
Ari?
champions, but now seems to be
Maybe.
dropping in priority as the early stages have progressed. Are you going to lean more to the skirmishy ADs or just fall back to
Unless
tanks like
GAM's
Sejuani?
playing Ari. I think Ari Ben's not
Rel,
bad.
Maokai in the future. It doesn't seem
Nico
clear
Ari?
quite
Yeah.
yet.
And I will say that historically, at least from my memory,
LLL can ban
jungle is often the fakest champion.
Sejuani.
We see a lot of creativity there. We see a lot of left hooks, a lot of things coming out of nowhere that disappear entirely once we head to Swiss or groups. Obviously,
What are
in the
good
past.
jungle bans here.
So
Poppy's
wouldn't be
already
surprised if
taken away.
drastic changes as we do kind of step up to that higher level of competition. But for now, Lee Sin has looked solid. J4, the other big one, not
Jarvan.
surprised to see it banned
I don't
away.
like Jarvan ban.
The Spear of Shojin build.
Because I like playing Lee Sin into
Feels
Jarvan.
really good. I played it yesterday in our
But
game.
I guess for your team it sucks.
Just endlessly EQing. Should he have EQ'd out at some point into the
We don't
Turbo
talk
Fed
about that
phase?
play.
No. He didn't want to. He just kept EQing, just forward, endlessly. Brain off. That's all you play J4. And it's damn strong. If you haven't played it, haven't tried it out yourself, even on
It must be Ari ban.
20, get out
Unless
there
they're
and do
banning something psychotic.
best life. But Nico getting a banned away as well. Mid lane focus here. Olaf, I guess, to shut down a potential.
Does Robo play
option
Olaf top?
into the Cassante.
Yeah, Robo played a fair
What's
amount
wrong
of
with your
Olaf
hair?
in
What do you mean, what's
MSI
wrong with my
as
hair?
Well, it was one of his better performing champions. Him and Broken Blade were making that thing.
What's
look
wrong with my hair?
disgusting
Nothing's wrong with my hair.
Of MSI, so maybe a little bit of a scar tissue from that series that GAM had against Loud back in the day.
Yeah, and I think if you are GAM and you can kind of, maybe cut out some of these crazy variables.
I don't mind the
Xayah
Sylas
is
ban here.
overall the
Maybe that's
player that you
maybe that's
favor
weird.
in the top
Yeah,
lane
but it's fine.
1v1, so
I was thinking
take away
Sylas because
kind
what
of
happens
the
if they pick
crazier
Sedge
options,
here
take away the champions who
and they can do Sylas Sedge on
disrupt the
5 if they
status
blind a
quo.
pretty weak mid that
Olaf
can be
is one of
countered
them,
by it
also
with
gonna
North
hit the bench.
Assault?
So really just trying to limit
Small cover off
reliable
maybe?
engage options for Levi.
Ah, Levi Nocturne.
Man. All right, Nocturne.
Oh, Levi Nocturne.
Against his eye is always going to be a bit tricky. I like having the Nocturne, the Kaisa together.
I heard Silas
Nocturne
and Scrims is pretty good.
Immediate reliable CC to set the Kaisa up, but when you have a Rakan as well, it's going to be tough for Route to play the game. And Route was the standout player, bar none. Very clear to anyone watching the game, this is the guy that you want to shut down.
Any Akali enjoyers?
Now GAM certainly have the tools to do
Ari.
it.
Yeah, he has the first pentakill of Worlds, already at 3+. Everyone is crying if they didn't select that for their pick'ems.
Okay, they didn't ban the Ari, which I'm kind of surprised by, but it doesn't really matter. If they banned Ari here, they could also do LeBlanc, Akali. I think they're still mid laners that are annoying.
That was
Is it going to be Gwen top?
And it was 20, I want to say 2017.
It was what does Robo play?
He was level 6, everyone
Malphite,
else
Gwen? Malphite's not bad in this draft, you know?
with Galio to help him clear
Aatrox? Oh, I don't like Aatrox.
Times. That was a very fun era for GAM. That was the initial rise of GAM.
I don't like
Aatrox
at
a lot of those crazy
all.
strategies.
And the VCS as a whole was this region that was unbelievably bloodthirsty, that was creative, and had the mechanical skill to pull those off. I think if they ever make a League of Legends like Hall of
I don't like Lissandra that much either.
Like greatest moments
Actually, I don't mind it. Lissandra Nocturne, I see it. Similar to Nico. Nico Nocturne. Don't pick Victor.
I'm constantly impressed by the innovation that can come out of the VCS. I don't think we're getting quite as much of it. Tristana would have been interesting. Tristana Kaisa, obviously the premier double AD composition, was hit pretty heavily coming into Worlds, just between nerfs.
What the hell?
Ivern getting taken down a peg a little bit, but now instead we have the Victor, who I'm going to be honest, doesn't fit into this composition at all. Victor says, please come to me. Everyone else on GAM says, let's get in there.
Alright, chat, you know the drill. You can use your tier 1 on your Twitch Prime to avoid ads for the entirety of Worlds.
It might be the first Victor Worlds as well, if I'm not
one subscription, or you can get gifted a sub if you're lucky, and you will avoid ads for all of Worlds for the rest of the tournament, and ad-free viewing experience. It's free, it's easy, one primer, job done. You don't have to though, it's up to you. You don't have to, it's up to you. You decide.
Individual matchup, but like you said, the
hello from Canada.
Hello.
I would only prime if you're going to watch Worlds through the co-streams. If you're just here today because you feel like being here today, then maybe it's not a good idea. But if you're going to be here for the whole month, then...
And if you are in a situation where people do come in,
yeah, I don't know why is he
really fantastic.
I don't know, like both teams through the draft IMO.
Let's go.
I think that Aatrox pick was kind of cringe.
Just so rarely in pro play do we see
I don't know, Aatrox Lee Sin against Cassante Nocturne. I don't know. Anyway, not the worst, but he just picked Victor into Nautilus Ari Lee Sin. Like, I don't know, I'm a bit afraid for this. I'm a bit afraid for this Victor. Is Cathy just like a, is he a fucking, does he main it? Let me have a look.
It's something we're going to have to keep track of. Remember,
yo, Mods Gamba.
Do or die
but I don't understand why he's picking Victor. He has 2 games on Victor.
Best of 5 tomorrow. Does have the luxury of best of 3, can't afford to lose a game, but want to come out swinging.
He has 4 games on Victor all year. Yo, Shiro Kami with the 10 gifted. PogChamp. Euler.
Loud versus GAM. I'm excited to see if they can pull it off. You can hear a lot of support, I think, for Loud. If I can understand that crowd chant.
Let's just hold on. Yeah, is that Loud? Yeah, no, that's Loud.
Yep, definitely Loud. They show up at MSI. The Brazilian crowd was going crazy behind us.
Yeah, I think Akali here wouldn't have been too bad.
Other regions were
or Silas, like I said, maybe not the best, but still, any champ that can actually play with his team. I have no idea why the fuck they're playing Victor, actually. I'm triggered.
Anybody? No? Alright, no one's going to kill each other. And as a reminder, of course, if you want to
earn to join my favorite co-streamer at 5 AM tomorrow, ooh, so exciting.
And watch the games.
Hell yeah, Medic, that's what I'm talking about. I think Dom will be live at 5 AM, yeah.
Cool platform. Get rewarded for watching on it. And now, as we look back in on the game, still no one has killed each other, which is a bit disappointing.
Shocking. Cowardly gameplay.
As a play-by-play, I look forward to one thing and one thing only, and it is teams fighting.
Oh yeah, I'll mute
very little reason.
I also agree, so I do not need to comment on anything. I just leave you to go. I'll go take a lap around the building. You handle this never-ending team fight.
Yeah. Instead, I guess we could talk about strategy,
champions,
scaling, lane matchups.
My doorbell's gonna ring in a sec. Sorry about that.
So, speaking of a strategy, curious to see if Levi does anything. Historically, when you look at Nocturne, obviously champion, you're like, oh,
E-second when you're single target damage ending?
But
is it faster?
There is decent setup, which there is on the bottom side, and he has started on the top side, so he can clear top to bot. There is room for him to get in early ganks. Champion does a lot of damage. That said,
why did he start?
Just expecting relatively chill early game from the side of GAM, whereas Croc is really the one who needs to try and get something done with this early game Lee Sin.
I think you're especially going to see a lot of focus out loud around the mid lane because it does feel like one of the more punishable ones on the enemy side. It's also where you have a lot of the best setup. Of course, you can make plays in any lane for Croc, and this is exactly what you want when you draft a Lee Sin, is you want to have an abundance of options. So if something goes crazy in the bot lane and someone loses flash, you can then punish that. It's very easy to follow up on. And it's a very good composition in that sense. And you do still have some assurances in your scaling with the Xayah. So I do like Loud's composition for GAM. We already kind of talked about some of the maybe different ideas that the comp can go for. But at the very least, like you said, there are a lot of short-range champions on Loud, so you can always just drop your EQ on top of what people are and just drop tons of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as we get into the later game fights, I'm curious to see what Robo is going to be able to do against these champions, because again, against a lot of these melee champions, Aatrox is ahead. Wreak Havoc is a champion who I think is very strong. I expect to see more of. Worlds is a nice little invade here. Loud leveraging their early bot lane priority.
They're invading
Xayah wave clear. To come in and contest Levi on the objective. Lee Sin coming in as well. Spell shield already used. Nice sidestep comes in from Levi. Surely he's going to have to just flash out here. Taking his time on the wander out. Is he just going to accept his fate?
Just holding his flash.
Coming in. Is he going to try to get out without flash?
What is he doing?
Now he's finally flashing to
What
safety.
is going? Kill that fucking Nocturne!
It pays off. I think if he flashes over the wall, it's easy for Croc to flash follow and confirm the kill anyway. So very good.
Stop spamming F. Medic told you all to spam. I know Medic probably said, everyone in chat spam F when he comes back.
Shut up. To kite back the other way, and he was able to do that without burning other sums from his bot lane. I was worried that's going to be one of those spillover plays where you're like, save me, and everyone commits everything, saving Private Ryan, then suddenly Pallet's losing his flash and stuff like that. But they're able to get out.
Sort of who saves the saver sort of situation. Pallet will back away. Goes down for route. Says as well. Ignite down. So
there was an F.
They are giving up some of those summoners to come move in and contest.
There was not an F. Medic has done this for 3 years now.
Well, not too bad for GAM.
And I like the aggression out of Loud level 1 or level 3. Excuse me. This is exactly what we were hoping to see when we talk about some of the playmaking that they have. Burn flashes, get
Medic
in there.
was an OG red.
Has not been too slowed down with this clear. Did have to leave up that bot side of the jungle, but it was not actually stolen away. So you can eventually maybe get down there, pick those camps up. Just went to the top side for now. And of course, you do want to hold down a Nocturne if possible. Yeah.
Anytime you have these level 6 champions with global.
Wow, top is getting blasted.
One of the big things that casters, you'll hear casters talk about.
What is going on in top? Like, there's so many picks this game where I'm like, wow, you could have just won the entire game if you just didn't pick that. Aatrox is one of them.
But those first ults are
Victor is another.
Because the cooldown is so damn long. If you don't get something out of it, this ult that you worked to for so much of the early game, amounting to nothing, just makes the champion feel completely worthless. So again, tracking the Nocturne, tracking that level 6, but Loud, get lane prio again, this time, knowing that they are safe to do so, walk in, they take the camp away. So now, Nocturne, a camp behind with no new camp to be replaced.
How did they not kill Nocturne?
To get some of that back.
Why did Xayah not flash on that guy's head?
GAM is that Kiaya has known where Croc is this entire time and seems to have been able to use that to get a lane advantage.
Trading his health for routes, overall could be positive, but again, there's just not much of an angle here to get anything done on the bottom side as of yet.
Nope, just trying to punish Slater over and over. That was one of the big areas that Loud got some advantages in their first matchup. Punishing Slater, who had a very off series. Hopefully going to have a better one this time around.
Maybe. Victor is OP this game.
GAM got a Baron.
Maybe.
GAM should have won that game, and then they got really greedy with it.
Hear me out.
Pushing in on the bot side of the map where it got
nothing happens.
So
no one does anything. Loud uses their Ahri Lee Sin to do fuck all. Victor gets 3 items.
If they do get
Bomb.
Yeah, and I will say for the VCS as a whole, it was a wild playoff run. I think Goldberg has already mentioned Team Secret, but there were so many games in their playoffs that were decided by big Baron flips.
Robo, what the fuck are you doing?
And that's something that's going to count against them. Is now Robo forced to flash out to safety. Excellent.
Okay, here we go. We're doing something.
Howdy. Trying to get out, trying to sidestep, but they're just taking their time. Wait for the charm. Easiest first blood setup ever. Victor just accepting, getting walked down slowly but surely.
Yeah, Tinone's just dashing at his face, forcing him to
Don't
make
play
a play, and eventually the flash comes out trying to predict the charm that Tinone's never threw until it was too late. And using that mobility to hop on top of him, the wave was not in a good spot. The fact that you could dash 3 times and still not be under the enemy turret means that Gaddy might have been a little too far pushed forward.
Yeah. And that's frustrating. Obviously, you just want to get as much of that early CS as possible, as well as, I mean, honestly, hopefully an assist or two, just to snowball, just to get those early Victor augments. So falling behind early, again, it's a control mage. You know it's fine. It's okay if it falls behind a little bit, but going to make it that much harder.
Does the winner go to
really
Swiss?
do anything meaningful in bigger fights? It's certainly going to affect a potential 3v.
The winner goes on to the next round.
A minute and 4 seconds.
The winner goes on to play a best of 5 for Swiss. The loser is out.
The pressure that Loud have on the map, it should be easy pickings unless GAM want to try and force the 3v3.
Loser is out.
Yeah, we'll see how they want to do it here. Crashing a wave right now, Loud, means that they can get a little bit of chip damage down this turret, get your first couple plates, then maybe get a reset off and move to the Herald. See where they want to go around the map. I gotta say, Kiaya did get that flash on the top side, so it's not all true for GAM right now. They do have one part of the map that is at least winning around 15-ish.
Oh, BDS is Swiss, so if they lose, they go back to Swiss. Oh yeah, that makes sense actually.
With the pink ward that they drop down, so they know where Levi is and what he's doing exactly.
Levi now sees the Lee Sin in his jungle. Pullback gonna come through. Now the Q2, Q3, big damage, and again, clean and simple.
Eurobo!
Into these kills, they're not burning flashes, they're not getting over aggressive, they're not wasting cooldowns.
Did he try to spell shield the Q1, but he didn't actually get him range?
I gotta give credit to Robo there. He started that play off about a minute and a half ahead of time, running to the enemy jungle, dropping a pink ward down so they knew exactly when and where Levi was. That ward was not swept out. You can still see it there in that part of the map. And very easy to go ahead and now combo that with that Rift Herald.
This is just a fucking classic jungle diff game.
Checking in on the experience, Levi the one that you need to watch.
But also, mid lane is permanent.
At this stage. Once he gets that, maybe they have the tools to contest, but there are no camps here for him to take. This is a spectator Rift Herald. Levi's in the area. He's clearing out the vision. GAM came to watch for a minute, just so Loud could show them how it's done, but
yeah,
sadly, there's no reason.
Nah,
I like watching.
It's a difficult situation. If you go bot side, you're 100% conceding it. You think maybe if they fumble something, we can make a play, but there's no play to be had. And for now, Loud playing much cleaner in the early game. They are leveraging the priority that they have in lanes. They managed to make plays despite a losing top side, but now the counter punch coming in from GAM.
Ain't no way they just Nocturne ulted on a Nautilus.
Ooh. And ultimately, first Nocturne ult traded for a Nautilus flash.
There's no way they just Nocturne ulted for a support flash. That did not just happen. It's open. If I'm Nocturne, I'm in base.
Or was maybe trying to flash to the other side of the Nautilus with the fear to push him further up the lane. Either way, though, the fear was not that close to going off. Nautilus gets the wall.
Wait, Nocturne flashed into the wall as well? Yeah, I'm definitely in base.
Ultimate there, but getting his flash out as well. And like you said, you hear casters talk about it.
My Victor griefing
exactly
me.
That. You want
my lanes.
Me, Mark, when you have a global
no setup. Can't get kill bot.
You want it to go well. It's a long
Then my Nocturne gank spot fails flash before Rakan 6 as well.
You're gonna have to wait for it to come back up before you can do anything. And often in the past when Nocturne was popular, you would see them
fat.
Lucidity boots just so they could have it up before
Thank you.
their first ult.
That's a compliment to me.
Nice
because I'm actually extremely underweight.
No such luxury. It's gonna be
Thank you. I'm glad you see the progress.
Maybe. You'll have children. They'll be working their way into preschool by the time we see another ult.
Actually, I'm not extremely underweight. I'm not extremely underweight.
Maybe even kindergarten. It's going to be quite some time before we see that ultimate up and available. As Board Drinker coming out for Lee Sin on the opposite side. This is
I'm just skinny.
bad. Again, it's only a 1.3k gold difference at this stage of the game, but GAM can't do anything.
No, not really. Like, maybe you can go to Kiaya's lane and get some advantage there. And it is, of course, nice to have your Cassante winning, you know, but he's not going to be as
Why is this guy's first
as
message in
Route,
chat? Small penis crew rise up. Shut up.
Plates just for existing and having shoved, basically, and winning lane phase.
That's an easy dive.
For the second series in a row.
Just go, 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 go. There's no Nocturne ult. Wait, is it bugged? Why did it show Nocturne ult up?
Follow up. Dash out to safety. Fancy.
Oh, Tin! Tin, 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 Tin. Oh, here comes Victor. Here comes Victor. Watch out. He's doing a lot of damage. What is Tinones doing? Oh, Cassante was blinded.
You might a little early on the spell shoot. It might not matter, however. He's trying to use him as a hook out to safety. Croc committing to the
Lee Sin, that champ's so bad. That Lee Sin champ's... What killed him?
W after W.
Wait, hold up. Did he die to wolves?
5 seconds, but he's got all the time he needs. They're stunned every
But the wolves were stunned by Victor W, weren't they?
Nice counterpunch from GAM.
Making it work. We were doubting the Victor a little bit in the draft if it was going to come through. And if there's a turret dive that you can teleport into and help turn around, that's going to come up big. Getting those 2 kills, he is
I didn't see them bite. I didn't see that.
Might be able to stuff these dives from Loud if they keep coming in. That was a nice turnaround there. Did cost a lot of resources.
Wait, Victor's in the carry now. Wait, Victor is unironically going to solo carry the game.
Still
ain't no way.
Play at the end of the day.
Yeah. But it's little moments like that that we need to see more of. At least punishing some of the more aggressive play from Loud. Respect to Loud for trying to snowball.
His Aatrox is healing him.
Clean play
he has whipped to Mythic, I guess.
GAM making sure to punish, making sure that it just doesn't get too out of control. If you do not get those counter kills there,
my Aatrox, need my Aatrox.
Just starts to fall apart.
The craziest Aatrox on the server.
On the table, and I just feel like any mistakes you make as GAM are going to be incredibly costly.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things when looking at professional League of Legends is for the backbreaker play, the thing that fully breaks the game open, where you can no longer contest anything except for when people make a big mistake. It would be the Dame Aelin to Leroy.
LS is molding over 3 biscuits, Victor. Hasn't LS been molding over biscuits for 2 years? Leave the biscuits alone, okay? Get over it. Biscuits are tasty, delicious, and they're good for you.
Suddenly, GAM has no place to make the rest of the map.
Deal with it.
The Victor does get 2 kills, keeps them somewhat relevant in this game, though still on the back foot.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be important to track to see how GAM set up, if they can set up around these objectives, because that's when Victor's going to feel powerful. If they're wandering into objectives late,
biscuits are not good for you. In League they are.
Herald is going to charge
biscuits save lives in game.
Money to have.
Oh, Cassante time again. It's time to go over the wall with Cassante. La 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 la.
The disc called it out. We see it come to life on the top side. Kiaya finding the solo kill.
Alright, Dragon Start is good. Nocturnal should be up now. Ahri has no flash, but of course impossible to kill. I think Nocturne needs to focus down bot side again. These wards in his jungle are so annoying. This one, this one. Manifesting the Ocean Soul. Come on, be a Cloud Dragon next.
Winning game. We're chilling.
Okay, we take that. We take that. We take that.
Yeah. Ooh, this is a play we got to take a look back at. Watch Tinones here. This is what's sick nasty.
Oh shit, that was clean.
Ahri flash forward, pull back on cue.
Oh shit. Oh shit, that was clean. Oh shit.
He ran down, I thought, to get further away from Victor's gravity field. It does scale on speed based off distance from Victor, and so if you ran south there, but then you'd be just running into the waiting arms of the Cassante. Chose not to do that. And
so let's see those wolves.
Almost saved Levi there, not able to get it done. Back's alive.
Coming in. Pallet locked up. They've got too much damage, but Rakan got a stopwatch. Is it going to be enough?
Wait, he's out.
Make it out to safety. Well played by Pallet to survive. Forced to burn an important cooldown. Manages to walk away with his life. That said, the tower. Are they going to have enough tools to protect it? And again, we're in a situation
plating is fallen. Yeah, Cassante doesn't have TP up yet, but
Robo,
this is really awkward because Cassante needs to TP top, but Kai'Sa's basing. Do they just lose top tower for all of this?
Suddenly, hey, pretty even lane
messy.
phase, guys. Look at the stats. Don't look at the context.
A bit messy.
Robo went mostly even. 1 death, whatever that happens. Otherwise, he also had that great pink board.
Look, man. MasterCard lane economy.
It's kind of sad that they lose top tower for that.
This is the moment where we took the picture. Tiny lane gap.
Therefore,
220 gold. This is bam.
The beauty of a snapshot.
Why is one series missing on YouTube? I don't know. We only did 1 series yesterday.
9-1, despite the fact that they were 0-0-0 for 30 minutes, doesn't matter. Carried the game.
They should have been team fights.
Yeah.
Time MasterCard.
No, just a bit of a rough game for Robo, but the rest of Loud looking incredible. The mid and bot side.
The main stage of Worlds.
We were hyping up
I don't think it'll be in LoL Park.
Primary carry for this team. They know
I think it's somewhere else, isn't it? It's in a stadium.
Down there to help him out. You can see a lot of the plays.
In an arena.
The fact that they're getting pushed in the bot side of the map. Then Croc invades, then they...
Yeah, the loser if this is out. Loser is out. Loser is out. Loser is out.
Not end up breaking that turret, though. It is actually Robo who, because there's so much pressure...
I don't know. GAMS has a weird situation. Like, this Nocturne is useless.
Yeah.
But their Victor is getting quite strong.
Top turret down, obviously from the side of Loud, but they might fish for the dive here onto Robo. Again, trying to punish one of the weaker sides of the map. Nocturne coming in.
Rakan missed W.
Early ignite just to make sure there's no Aatrox healing, but out he goes!
How do you... What?
World Ender out to safety. There's no wave there really either to play around the tower, so they're going to try to push for more. But now Cassante, can he hold on? Slater off in the area. Croc getting over aggressive, a kickback. Oh, he's going, trying to Croc, no! Oh, his mind was telling him no, but his body...
Cassante Gamers!
Yes, and all of Loud saying no.
Cassante Gamers! Oh my god.
Out. Little Lee syndrome costing him here is 10 ounce. Finally dashing out to safety charm. He's got a bit more movement to come through.
Oh, it's a horror, man. It's absolute int central. Victor free scales, gets top tower. Nocturne slowly getting back in the game from this. Bot lane lost all their summoners. Ah, putain de merde.
Finally has some bars to drop. That was the play again.
Well, this Herald start is risky. Wait, oh.
So many resources into the top side that
Show the top fight replay. That was disgusting.
Loud is saying, okay, great. 3 members on the top side. Kiai is trying to stop this wave from getting in. He's trying to protect his mid turret. Let's go ahead and kill him for it. And they almost get it. They almost land this, but after the damage, nicely timed flash out of Slater. I'll give him that. Sometimes you flash slightly too early.
Kasante really hard.
Flash, but he was able to
nice flash by Levy here.
Damage after the Q2
gets the kill. Kasante knows he's dead. Gets the fear.
Side, because that play took so long to develop, are able to get down and
really
show
nice
up and actually help out around the mid lane. And they get a ton of kills back. They're able to close
they lost
that
Herald, I thought so.
Or
they're fighting it, yeah. They can come out of base and try and contest. I don't know, Nocturne will CD though, because it seems bugged on the thing.
Their advantage after that positive play. Again, the gold, very small difference at this stage of the game. Robo stepping forward, Infernal Chains.
Let's see, what we got.
Yeah, strong. Just going to step in, pull the Lee Sin back, trying to one-shot the jungle as quickly as possible. Croc had a fantastic early game. But now he's just getting knocked down.
Oh, nice flash from Rakan.
Safe for now. Robo getting pulled back. Tino's waiting.
Oh, Nocturne just came up. Is that an 07 to Xayah? Yeah, it is. Oh my god. Robo!
Another coming through.
No.
Robo getting pulled over the wall by Kiaya in the fights. GAM is monstering Loud.
They have finally grabbed a gold lead back.
He got 2. He got their bot lane.
GAM take the lead in the game. They have pressure on the
Ari Lee Sin. Pre-20 minutes, losing fights.
Up to 4-1-1.
Ari Lee Sin. Losing fights. Pre-20 minutes.
Being able to collapse. So it's a 4v3 and Kiai says, great, I'm
Victor is winning the fights. Time to open.
Allowing Croc to be the first target that they melt. Finally, the bot lane of Loud has caught up here, but the fight's already over, and Kadi just continues to threaten the backside of the fight. Robo has some heroics here. He starts kind of getting those resets that you see an Aatrox do. His health bar shoots right back up there.
DRX
Aatrox. Guy is still able to find the shutdown afterwards, and again, like you said, Levi on the other side of the fight, finishing off that back line.
Yeah, and if you looked at the damage during that fight, about 3.6k Kadi over the course of the fight, Kiai at 2.6. Just crazy. Goal difference over time, obviously telling us the story of this game.
Super shy.
Alright, I'm gonna be honest.
I'm not gonna talk about pick'ems much, but Cloud Soul. Do not spawn. Ocean, give me Ocean.
I just feel like that play on the mid lane, he got ahead of himself, and you talked about the backbreaker play.
Yeah, I fucking hate this game. I actually just fucking hate it.
Into that fight we just saw was the backbreaker play, except Croc broke his own back. It's like he just jumped onto the other guy's knee.
Or it's like when you have the guy right over the head and they do that weird spin thing down and they flip it around, suddenly you're flipping the other guy on his back.
I don't know what that's called. I haven't watched enough.
If you had to pick a champ for a world skin, which one would you pick?
Stress, yeah, if you're watching, let us know. But that sucks for Loud because again,
I don't know. I want to pick Lee Sin, but FPX already has a Lee Sin skin and SKT has a Lee Sin skin.
Across the board, clean ganks, simple plays, and then they tried to just get a little too fancy in the mid lane.
Yeah,
gave away a bunch of kills, and then GAM.
I would pick Malzahar, and then on its ult, when you're channeling it, that it'll pop up, there'll be a hidden bug on the skin where you can't move when you're ulting.
They're going to contest that play. You can see time and time again, GAM are submitting resources. They're not the go to the other side of the map team. There are some teams, when they fall behind, they start trading objectives, they try and scale, they try and stay relevant. GAM, and generally speaking in the VCS, they are the scraps. They're ready to go, oh, you're going bot, we're going bot, we're going to cover that dive. And it puts a burden of mechanical execution on you to lose skin. Convert on those plays. And should you come up short, they will punish you.
There's no Drake for 4 minutes. This is really horrible for LLL. Their game plan is mid-tier 1, okay? Because both outers are down and they can get side push. But they can't collapse mid because they lose fights. GAM has really good hard engage, so if they step up, they're just going to get engaged on. And GAM has Herald.
You're going to do less damage than GAM's composition, just fighting front to back kind of.
So how do you get this mid-tier 1 down?
Yeah, and it's going to be tricky.
You can't.
Where are you using that?
So how do you force the fight?
Who are you kicking? Where are you going to find?
Well, you could try and get the mid-tier 1, but then you'll die.
To find a meaningful impact.
And now we're getting caught.
Out here. Herald has been
and now they're the ones getting our mid tower.
Barely able to heal up.
And we're Nocturne ulting for memes.
Nice. Just in time. Pal 74 just maybe hoping to catch Croc out. Of course,
so how does LLL get back in the game? You can't.
World, so was able to heal up pretty quickly on
Need a mistake
there,
somewhere.
Mid lane tower broken open, and this is where the game starts to get a lot easier for GAM. Tino's fishing for these picks, and I think this is what Loud have to do to try to find a way back in.
Yeah, I like Loud stepping forward here with the amount of resources.
Yeah, mistake. Wait, this Nocturne went Anathema second.
Multiple ultimates down, 4 of them.
Did he put Anathemas on Ari? He just builds full armor?
Loud space to finally step back forward, get involved, start clearing out this vision.
Hell?
But the way that they're going to win this game is most likely through pickoffs, which means you're going to need to find.
It's on Xayah. He's put it on Xayah.
To find those backline targets, like you're saying, you're probably trying to kick the Kaisa or the Victor if you can ever find them without the rest of the team around them. Go for them.
Maybe he's going to try and 1v1 Xayah.
Team fighting. If you're just meeting it up at objectives, it's probably going to be GAM favorite.
Enemy team is diving.
It certainly is.
Yeah,
and I think this puts even more pressure
one of the players featured today in our featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz, Route and Slater. You know, for Slater, I think his life is easy now, because in the laning phase, Route absolutely was getting the better of him. If that had continued, you would expect the Xayah to take over fights, no question. With Slater, as much as he's the focus, the center of attention, the rest of the team have now made his life so easy because he doesn't have to be the superstar in fights. Yeah, he just gets
they have Nocturnal up? Is it up again?
One shot an Ahri, maybe a Xayah, or just hit frontline. He's gonna be chilling.
He is chilling, and you can see the Quick Blades, Kraken Slayer build. There's been a lot of debate about the right Kai'Sa build. She's a champion that can kind of build anything, but of course, that doesn't mean it's optimal.
Sure.
And in this game, there's not a ton of frontline to punch through. Robo is sort of the tankiest. But
I don't really want GAM to start Nash.
Like that.
They should wait for second item on Victor.
Game, so did not go for the lethality build, which I think I personally like a lot. If you're ahead or there's not
what
that
does
many
Nocturne build third? Does he build Sterak third?
Especially with this kind of composition, I think it would have made a lot of sense. But being more DPS oriented here this time around, more front to back, kind of working with the Victor kind of identity.
Yeah, I think I like the adaptation coming in.
What the fuck is that TP? Victor is recalling.
Overall, but the TP behind here.
Where is Victor TPing?
To further press advantage. A second TP now coming in. Nocturne to sow a little bit of chaos.
Oh,
for Khan immediately going in,
the fear didn't land.
So far, the
oh, Victor, baby! Hell yeah, brother! Yo, the backline. Help!
Robo versus the world, and Robo's doing all right thus far. Kicked over the wall. Croc now re-engaged coming in. Tino's one more charge left on the dash. Needs to get the kill. Needs to get the resets. Robo on the backside.
Oh, they're gonna live. Oh, the stopwatch.
Going forward, wants to find the kill.
Oh, the reset. Oh, he already didn't get the reset. No, mama.
Falling apart. They managed to get out, but they try to commit again. They try to turn it back in their favor. And at the end of the day, GAM stopped them in their tracks and set their sights on the
Damn, GAM.
Brute forced that fight.
Rolling smoke.
The Nocturne ultimate. And honestly, Loud did a great
job. What's the counterplay?
There was a moment here.
Aatrox can't even TP because they're getting Nocturne ulted. Oh, he did get his TP off just in time.
Excellent ult out of Route to stay there. Make sure he doesn't get charmed up by the Rakan.
Sales is one shot.
Route's threatening the backside. Here, Kati
Robo does pretty well, to be honest. I think Robo does his best job. He gets 3 of them on him.
Mix of damage there. The fact that they were not able to
it was 3v1 in the backline.
Together to get that kill, to get the reset, to then charge through the rest of the fight and potentially meet up with Robo, who was on that backside that entire
How did
time.
Aatrox TP? How did he TP in time?
Probably reset most through the fight
when Nocturne ulted? Maybe he got it 1 frame before the Nocturne ult, like fully committed.
That does not happen. GAM is now completely in control of this game.
And it's wild to see how quickly this game has turned around. And how well GAM are now playing with the lead.
Close,
Again,
was really close.
Was rough. This Nocturne looked pretty useless, but now is looking very relevant in these fights. Especially when Loud have to burn so many cooldowns just to get away from the initial engage. It's kind of a field day for Levi once he sees these immobile carries, cooldown less.
Well, this is Victor build.
Just run in.
Doesn't matter, to be honest. As long as he has Leanderies and gets to level 16, just press R and he's fine. Enemy champs don't do it. Like, even if he had fucking Triforce, I think he would still out damage Ahri right now. That Ahri does no damage.
Is Levi. Ult's available. And they fish for the fight here. Tinon's walking out, marking the flank, spotting it.
Where is Bruff going?
Didn't see him. Clean play around the vision and instantly just goes.
What the hell? What the fuck? Oh my god, the kick flash got cancelled by the Rakan. Wait, what cancelled that kick flash? Was it Rakan? Oh my god.
But Route's just not allowed to play the game.
Yeah,
There is no
guys,
room
I
for
think
the Xayah to
what
maneuver
we're gonna do in
the
game
feature
2,
matchup.
Brazil,
He
is we're gonna
does
play
not
more
matter.
scaling.
GAM breaking through, very likely to take at least an
More
inhibitor.
scaling, more team fight, less R
Not
releasing.
being able to push for the win. It's just too early in the game.
Yeah, 15
Man,
seconds on death timer.
when you watch like JDG or fucking
we'll see if they can even grab the inhibitor. Looks like they're gonna back off
an LPL team or LSK team play R releasing, you're like, damn.
Palo was in the flank,
Looks
wanting
pretty
to
strong.
go, but his ult was just seconds
And then people
away
try
from
and
being
play
up.
it, and it's like,
And it took too long, so he abandons the
don't
position. And I think
play it
Tino's
properly
was just totally
in hovering mid to side,
not even looking where his champion
and
was
then
going.
Can we see the
side to mid in mid game.
He's just walking right
What
at
does
him.
it do?
He's just not looking.
He
You said
doesn't
he just
see him.
didn't see him. I thought there was a vision bug.
No, I mean like literally his
camera wasn't there. How does this kick flash get cancelled?
And this is what's frustrating if you're a Loud fan.
Oh, Nautilus ult.
is
Cringe.
This was almost a perfect early game, but the hands weren't good. The brain has been pretty good this entire game, but just these little mistakes everywhere, plaguing this game for Loud. This is not how you wanted to start the series.
Yeah, you can almost feel there's like this slight moment of hesitation out of Pala being like, am I getting trolled?
Am I trolling?
Or
is he baiting me?
Yeah, Victor
like,
smoking the haters with healing reduction.
But But no, as soon as that ultimate came up, Pala was able to go.
I mean, it's not that bad, the Morello. I'm gonna be honest, it's not that bad. They have Aatrox Lee Sin, right? Aatrox has a lot of healing. Lee Sin has actually a pretty lot of healing with double Gore Drinker. Ahri gets healing too. You know what? Fuck it. Who cares? I'm not gonna hate on it. It's not that bad.
Squared off on day 1.
Yeah. And right now, short of GAM throwing, which
I think he could have built more damage, yeah.
Last time these two teams played, they threw a big goal.
Could have gone like Shadow Flame, I guess, but
it's feeling like the GAM victory lap.
Yeah.
Slow and steady, most certainly.
Still
need
Morello,
to play it
fuck
well, but they have all the tools they need to end this game in their favor. Loud don't have the tools to turn it back in their favor unless GAM misstep.
Like he can 1v1 Aatrox with that item, I think.
Their tools were at the sharpest in the early game. They were doing it pretty well, and then a couple just.
You can like unironically push top now, I think. I think he should just fight Aatrox. Aatrox, like that. Look at him chasing him. Yeah, Victor should murder him.
Now you're like,
it's tough, man. Yeah, you're like, this is the finest Japanese steel blade, the greatest katana ever made. And you're like, so I hit him with the side of it, and you're like, no,
the blunt side, bludgeoning damage.
I just hit him right on the horizontal side where it's thickest. You're like, no, that is not how a sword
you wield
works.
that weapon,
Please stop.
No. Take a look at
Abyssal masks, double Abyssal masks.
Anathema's chains. Yeah, I'm such a fan of this item. It's just so frustrating, and when you identify the route is the only late game damage on the side of Loud, as well as their best player.
What is Blood saying?
Get this thing that makes it really annoying should your fear go
Right, so the winner is gonna play against Team Wales, right? So it's the VCS Finals rematch.
Is the greatest like high-five teamwork moment I've ever seen. Is it excessive? Arguably.
I was going to say yes.
Yes. Do you need 2 of the same aura for champions who don't really deal magic damage? No. Is that Victor going to burn through everyone on an enemy team despite building a kind of weird tanky hybrid build? Yeah.
I feel like somehow people finally realized what Abyssal Mask did.
It took so long. This item has been stupid for so... I just want to say, as a long-time Abyssal Mask enjoyer, it does not matter what I think. The fight now breaking out. Route just forced to retreat.
No, the winner of this plays against Wales. The winner of BDS CFO plays against PSG. So that's the problem that we have right now as BDS enjoyers, as European stands. Okay, we're gonna clap the Oysters, sure. Oysters get absolutely fisted, but then we play against PSG, which is kind of like.
By threatening these kinds of engages. Of course, they did burn their own ultimates. You know, Pallet has to wait for his to come up and whatnot, but they're still buying space on the map. They're getting wars down. They're grabbing objectives. And now Baron spawning in 20 seconds.
Yeah, but they lost Messi.
A little slow, but they should be able to get back on the map.
They lost Messi.
And in the meantime,
they have Mbappe.
Chew through so much of this vision that was already placed down.
Yeah. Not even able to walk up.
But BDS didn't lose Medic, and PSG lost Messi, so we fucking win those. Goat gap.
That vision. This should cost Kiaya his life, but Loud just aren't confident enough to pull the trigger here. So Kiaya is winning the extended play.
Robo
now forced away.
Why isn't Kaisa full send?
Debating if they want to re-engage. Robo chunked out with no TP available. GAM's pick for the litter, kind of. Take whatever objective they want for now.
Can we afford to lose against the Oysters? No.
That does mean conceding some of
if we lose versus the Oysters, we're out.
By that problem.
Yeah,
they have a lot of tools to get in quickly. Should the enemy team try to start that Baron in a trade situation, obviously Levi on Nocturne can fly across the map. Same thing for Slater on Kaisa. So you just have Pallet running, zoning a little bit there by himself. The enemy team, or the rest of the team, burns down the Baron, then collapse if they need to. So nice little use of their potentially global abilities if they need to use them.
Croc stepping up. There is some vision in the pit.
Is BDS out if they win versus Oysters but lose to PSG? Yeah, out.
Slater has
BDS can't lose a series. If they lose a series, they're out. They have to win today, win tomorrow, then they're in. Tomorrow is best of 5, today is best of 3.
But it's going to take some time. You're going to have to win the extended engage.
So it needs to be a double win. Otherwise, we're out.
At this point, this kind of lead.
No, we're going to win.
Once again on flanking duty. Doing a good job.
We're gonna win.
Wheel his way through the vision of Loud.
We're gonna win.
Getting it spot out on that pink board. Goes a little bit further forward.
They can be like, they can.
Loud is that GAM is not just
they need to make sure they get to the Swiss stage so they can be like food for the shy. You know, like if BDS go against Weibo and they can get their free win, perfect. The shy eats good.
On the side while the rest of the team has pressed forward into that vision to make sure they have not actually started off that Baron, because they do have a very, very fast Baron team here for GAM. If you do give them alone time, they can melt through it.
Yeah, stepping forward immediately though. GAM pulled the trigger, trying to find the angle. Levi on top of the back line. Everybody running the entire
Oh, Kiaya.
Pullback coming in from Kiaya. Croc now left on his lone, so Pal gonna get immediately kicked out. Croc buying a bit more space.
Kaisa, baby. Kaisa, baby. Yeah, this game was over 10 minutes ago.
Does not care, baby. Get the Sante copy pastas ready. This guy's making it happen, but Route desperately holding on, trying to fire back.
176 gold. Wait, Nautilus is getting it. Yo, how many times did Nautilus die? That's perfect. 5! Yes! Yes!
Heavily in favor of GAM.
Holy fuck. Sorry, no more pick and
Nice
soap.
play out
No
of
more pick and
GAM
soap.
there, and Kati continues
No more
to
pick
come
and
up
soap.
big. The Victor that we were doubting in the draft, showing that
Nautilus
he knows
enjoyers,
exactly what
Giga
he's
Chad.
doing, able to go 8-2-8 on this champion, blow people up. It was his damage that Robo was like, okay, I got my gourd drink, I'm ready to try and heal through this. Oh my god, my health bar. Started off by Levi, of course. Going in there, kind of splitting the team up with the vision. A nice Q3 out of Kiaya, yet again flipping Robo back,
Nice
and
damage.
then annihilated.
I mean, they just don't have, like, LLL is playing Ari Lee Sin. Now, why is Ari Lee Sin bad in teamfights later on? Well, first of all, they get outscaled by mages. But second of all, they are single target damage. Single target damage champs. Ari Lee Sin.
Slow GAM a little bit here.
Whereas champs like Orianna, Azir,
GAM are
Victor,
so dominant
Syndra,
on these fights.
and Talia, they are
all their
AoE
items
damage.
completed.
They are collateral.
Grab
You
mid
press
lane
your
inhibitor
spell in a
through the
fight,
hole
you'll
around
probably
these
hit
side
someone,
lanes,
and you
feels
might
pretty
hit someone else as
cut-and-paste
well.
for the end of this game now.
And if you can
Unless
hit two
there's
of them, great.
Massive stumble around Nexus turrets.
Red Bull Baron power play coming through.
Whereas Ari, it's
More
like,
Red Bull.
you need to hit Charm, Lee Sin has to hit Q, then you have to hit RQ, then you have to ult forward, then you have to kick, and then maybe you can get one target, and then you get a reset, and then you
We'll
go.
come back. Everyone, forget you heard that.
Forget you heard that. That
It's
was
not like an 80 carry level
material.
DPS, it's just
We'll
like
figure it out.
short
Now figure it
bursts
out.
of fucking dog shit. Look at that.
Alright.
Wow.
They cannot commit
There's
to the
our single
Rakan
target
because
damage.
They don't want to risk it. Which is
And
the
that's why
perfect
teamfight
place to
comps
be
have a
as
lot of
support.
collateral damage. You know?
Able to walk forward.
They have a
eat
lot of
bunch
fucking
abilities,
degenerate spells
and they're
that just
afraid to
hit you
jump
when you
on
don't want them to hit you.
Robo was in the top side there as well, doing a bit of split pushing, finish off his Sterix with that gold that he got. We'll see probably one more desperation play.
One more pullback. Sante again, unaffected by damage.
Oh.
Does get hit by the pullback. That's big. That could be a solid start to the fight. Again, burning through Kiaya, getting lower and lower. Massive shutdown for Loud. They need to pull the trigger. They have to fight.
Have to chase. Have to chase. These are the game states where you have to go in or lose. Go in now. Oh, victoring! What the fuck?
Burning through the entire team. Levi finally going to re-engage, and Slater, it's his time to shine.
Palette, flash W, show it to me, baby!
A single pick, not enough. GAM now breaking their way into the base, bullying towards the Nexus. I don't know if they want to risk it here. Instead, happy to just have 2 inhibitors and walk away.
For a moment there, it looked so good for Loud. They were melting through the front line of GAM, who were getting a little overzealous.
When are we going to
Pull
see a
back onto
Vlad
Kiaya,
game?
But they
Bro,
were not
Vlad
able to
is
land
not a champ.
damage onto the actual carries of
Vladimir
the
was meta
competition.
in Season
And
8,
once they stepped too far forward,
and
they
the
blew them up. Starts out
mid-rotation
here,
was
a nice
Azir,
chain landed by
Vladimir,
Robo,
Rise.
not able to get out to the
You would pick Rise into Vlad, Vlad into Azir, Azir into Rise, I think it
back
was.
in there, they blow him up and they go, okay, this is the time. This is absolutely the right
And it was
play.
actually
There's not many
fun.
times
I
you're
like
gonna
that
kill
meta.
the K'Sante for free and have a chase down sequence. But right here, I gotta say, Seos
Rise
misclicks
into
onto
Vlad, that
Pallet
matchup was
instead of
fucking
Slater.
cringe.
I'm pretty sure there he was trying to target the Kaisa, ends up dropping his ultimate onto Pallet, and that enables Slayer to just charge forward totally unperturbed. And also, like you said, Kati was just dropping damage as Victor does when you're trying to chase forward.
And again, in a world where
Playing
Loud are
Vlad
able to
into
still hold
Rise
their
is the
lead
most horrible
and
shit
you
ever.
can just one-shot a Victor, and he's not going to do that much damage back to you. It's not a massive threat, but when you have to
Playing
fight
Vlad
to
into
the
Azir,
Victor,
though,
the game is so much harder.
that's
And in
horrible
goes the
early, but you can dive
Nocturne.
in.
Zaya already feared, waiting over the wall. In goes Slater, just going to
Oh,
look to
he
take
missed
him
it.
down.
He
The
missed the
shutdown
kick.
coming in. The kick is too little, too late. Lands.
Penta, 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 penta!
Loud as GAM
Penta!
their way through the team comp. Once again, making
Fuck
it look
you, Victor.
effortless. It's a triple. Probably could give him a penta, but they're not even worried about it. I set on the prize. I set on the win. They don't have a pre
Oh, Draco said it, eyes on the prize.
They have more than enough time to wait for it.
I don't think they need it either. Kiaya should be tanky enough with the rest of the team to just brute force this down. You
Where are
saw
the minions
the
at?
power of the Anathema's chain there, keeping Route
Yo, minions,
locked
where you
up
at?
for almost like 3 seconds there. Didn't even get his ultimate off. Well played in there.
Rakan is fair and balanced.
Down.
One button,
Yep. Reduced tenacity.
close 10-meter distance,
Infinite
and
fear
chain
duration.
CC. La la la.
Powerful turnaround after a lackluster
Okay,
early
fun game.
from GAM. Once they got control,
Well,
they
the
never
faster
gave
the
it up.
2-0
And
happens,
this is not
the
same
quicker
team we saw
BDS gets
playing
the
against
Swiss
Loud
stage, am I
earlier
right?
in the tournament. Looking revitalized. And this time when they found a lead, they did not hesitate to close it out cleanly.
I think it's going to be a good series, though, because
Clueless.
cast your mind back to the beginning of this game. Loud had their
Why are you
moment.
saying
They had a
clueless?
great early game. They had the plays. They were being proactive to win this game. Just came up short. We'll have to see what adaptations they make heading into game 2. If they want to double down on that and just say, hey, we play better. Or you say, let's take a little bit more scaling, a little bit easier execution. Should we not
Clueless.
completely dominate the
Yo,
early
mods,
game?
pay
There's
up.
a lot of choices here to make for Loud.
Yeah. I will say frustrating.
Mods pay up the GAM, but
I imagine for Loud fans as well. A lot of
someone says check the Reddit.
Plays. Yes, there were some comedic decisions as well. Croc that engaged into the tower. Tinone's getting caught out on vision, and while those are great highlight moments to clip out and kind of meme about,
try to put first RD Swiss team in a randomizer. Who you got winning?
There's just a lot of bad button pressing and 1 or 2 questionable decisions that threw away.
Yo, why did you put PSG went through?
I'm going to be completely honest. They went topside.
Okay, well, JDG would roll them, Genji would roll them, Weibo would roll them, Damwon would roll them, BLG would roll them. That would be a very close match. That would be a fun match, and that would be a fun match. Damn, it's actually cool.
I'm kind of flabbergasted after an early game like that. I think Mark's in a similar boat. I guess let's see what Trevor and the desk have to say.
Mark does not look flabbergasted.
LLL Sires whenever Root and Nocturne is cast.
And I'm going to say something that's a little bit unfair, but it captures how I'm feeling. Why on earth would any team degrade themselves into an all-out, skirmish, bloodthirsty battle against the VCS's #1 team from a region that is more experienced with that playstyle than maybe anyone else in the world? It's a little bit unfair, I know that, but that's how it felt watching the game.
Do you want to elaborate?
Loud started so well. Yes, we got a ton of replays. I'll tell you about it in a second or two. Let's jump into the draft.
Don't be game on Andes.
Any gut reactions, I think, outside of maybe the Victor last pick, a bit surprising for us.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think that Victor should have been in a Sia and it would have worked better. It worked out fine in the game, not because I think the Victor did anything specifically, but
when you get fed a little bit, it helps.
The kills to them. But I actually think that Loud got away pretty good. You already had the Sai into the Kaiser, cool. You get push. You have Nautilus into Rakan, cool. You win the laning phase because of how the kid functions.
Wait, Kuru is back.
Them as well to play around. Guess
wait,
what?
Plink is back.
Jungler too had
wait, does that mean Showmaker's back?
The Victor too, because Victor's very mobile, doesn't really allow much to happen. And top lane, as we predicted, was the only one that's going to struggle a bit. I kind of also go with the sentiment of a lot of people that giving Kiaya Kasante in a matchup he's already favored in going up against an Aatrox maybe not be the best idea.
Yeah, and I do think GAM's drafting was very smart around topside. Banning the Renekton.
Okay, chat, we're all going to stop spamming these cringe emotes now. We're all going to write smiley face
at that point, I was
in
like,
chat.
What else does he pick?
Colon, bracket,
or
smiley face.
So I thought it was really good drafting from GAM's side, and he just got
I hope
listen, let's
wins
start
Worlds.
at the beginning,
That's all
and
going to
part of the reason why I was very happy
That's
with
all
Loud until my angry
write
outburst. I think their goal or their strategy of invading Levi, getting into that Nocturne jungle, getting into his face over and over, it seemed to garner a lot of control for Loud, and I was quite excited about the Brazilians opening to this game.
You can see it here. This is the better draft from the bot lane coming through where you get the early priority, and this allows you to just move while the enemy carries losing farm on the tower.
How does this guy not die? Ah, Lee Sin
Q. They have a skirmish that's in favor of them. There's also Slater losing farm on the bot side while all this is happening. So even if you don't get a kill, it's still a win and you push Levi out. This also then allows them after everything's goes to playoffs. Okay. Well, guess what? Bush put, we have Slater on a reset, we can go for it again. So they just get their
Levy on Nocturne, 17 and 3. It's his fucking one trick.
Yeah, and it's kind of, oh, I remember this moment.
Yes. I remember you specifically saying, oh no, Levi has no flash. Oh no, Levi's gonna die. Yes, he died.
And he didn't drag the red into the bush.
I hope Pedro gets a real haircut.
That was a bit of a
What
shock,
do you mean, gets a real haircut?
Overall,
I got my haircut.
Robo. Great overall strategy to be able to punch down towards Levi and make him really like far behind in the game. In fact, his first ulti bot wasn't successful, and I think Levi was a bit tilted because even the first flash, there were a lot of moments for Levi in the early portions of the game were just not good.
Yeah, I just like they should just be able to carry out from the position they had themselves in.
They should have been able to, because of this next replay. This is where my anger comes from, and since you asked me to explain myself, every second counts thanks to reliable Cisco network. Kiaya and Slater
I'm going to tweet about it in a second.
They secure themselves
after this series, I'll tweet about it.
Turn around the game. And
maybe after the first BDS game, we'll tweet about it.
In my opinion, I think Loud just overchased. They did too much.
I have something to show you.
No, I'm completely with you as well, but obviously a bit of a Kasante moment, but still remember, you left this champion up. I think Crow almost outplays it, just doesn't have the damage or follow-up yet from the team to come through with it. And then they continue on the engage. The hook from Sales.
Alright, let's finish the Reddit. What is it? Someone made gods better with the electric guitar. Yeah, we saw that. 110, 11 facts.
The Statue of Liberty.
Let's watch that. We're gonna watch that. Don't mind me just watching ads with a side of Caedrel.
Yeah, I like ballsy plays like that when you recognize and are aware of like, oh, they don't have flashes. This makes a lot of sense because we just saw them.
8k points in chat.
But they recognize that they still had flash.
8k points.
They can outplay anyway.
Petro's height.
That's when, as Draco's mentioned on the cast, it started to turn on them.
He cheated by like 3 to 4 centimeters. Yeah, I'm telling you, because Caedrel, whenever I stand next to Caedrel in the LEC studio, it always feels like he's ridiculously taller than me. But then when we're in the dressing room and we've both got our shoes off, I feel like we're almost the same height.
Oh, that's bullshit!
So I feel like whatever shoes he's wearing, he's got like a solid, like 4 or 5 centimeters in those bitches always.
Right, what? That's not true. What is he on about?
He cheated.
That's a lie. That's a lie, Jamada. That's a lie. What do you mean 4 or 5 centimeters in those bitches? Bro, let's swap shoes. Don't fucking blame my shoes. Nah. 1 hour ad break? Ain't no way. Wait, what? Wait, you're... He's in a 1 hour ad break. Deserved. Mbappe shouts out PSG talent. Wait, really?
Come on, PSG talent.
They're NPCs.
We are Paris. Good luck for the world.
Bro, look at that guy's eyes. Who is that?
Allez Paris.
Ici c'est Paris.
The history of LOL airport speedruns.
There are few games with such a lasting legacy as League of Legends. This is due in large part to its lively competitive scene, which is filled with players constantly trying to push the boundaries of what peak League of Legends looks like. For these professional players, there is no higher goal than winning a World Championship trophy, surrounded by cheering fans on top of the world. However, only 5 players will lift that trophy every year. And perhaps because of that, a new challenge has grown from the League of Legends World Championship. One that has become far more competitive, one that everyone, even North American players, can achieve. This is the history of the League of Legends World's Airport World Record.
See, I like oh shit. I like the video. The Airport World Record. But we all know who has it now. We all know who has it.
Category would be split in 2. This created the Classic Airport Speedrun category, which would continue to only count games in the group stage, and an any percent category, in which a team could fail out of the play-in stage for a faster time. As it is still the more popular category, we will continue to follow the Classic Airport Speedrun. Like the previous year, no one in 2017 could even come close to beating H2K's record. The best time across the whole tournament was AHQ's 3-hour, 31-minute, and 8-second run, still over 20 minutes behind the 2015 run, although something of interest did happen in 2017. North America's Immortals performed a run that was nowhere close to achieving the record, but featured many experimental and quite entertaining moments. This culminated with quite a well-known event.
Oh, Cody-san does the insect. I'm going in, guys. I'm going in. Look, Casio. Look, Casio. I'm going.
Again, while runs like this aren't very competitive, many runners began creating their own unique and entertaining techniques, and one region stood out among them all.
NA.
With 2018 came yet another set of teams trying to take H2K's record. For a while it seemed like yet again a year would go by without anyone getting close. However, the LMS's Flash Wolves were trying hard to get there, and in the end, they would have beaten it by just a minute and a half, but they had to play a tiebreaker game that cost them everything.
No.
Another team was ready to pick up the torch though. North America's 100 Thieves were looking to avenge CLG's lost record, and in the end, they managed a 3-hour and 43-second run. Again, just barely missing the sub 3-hour mark.
They
100
did.
Thieves run, like Immortals, was fairly novel and fun to watch, with them securing the fastest single game between 2 major regions in World's history up to that point. After 3 years, H2K's record had been broken, but 100 Thieves wouldn't be the ones with the world record. as at the same time, the LMS's G-Rex completed a run in 2 hours, 53 minutes, and 42 seconds, finally beating the sub-3 hour mark. That legendary run finished off the 2018 World Championship, with G-Rex taking the airport speedrun world record. 2019 came and went without a new record, but in that
Game time
time,
got
yet
faster
another
though.
North American team pushed the limits of the category.
They go, that ping, and there we go.
Oh, clutch!
Started off. Fnatic are just going to run straight in for the fight. They just need to clear the waves. It's the base res cam, give it to us. But now it's just a matter of can they hold on. There's just too much damage. The tower is not enough from Cody's son. I don't think they can do it. The tower
What are they doing? Who are they backdooring? Who are they backdooring?
Even with this technique, Clutch didn't get the record, but thanks to the trailblazing they and other North American teams were doing, the average run times were being driven lower and lower. But the best was still to come. One North American team would do more for the category than any other.
No way did
team that has
C9
been
break
a
it.
staple since the beginning.
No way does C9 have the record.
2020 brought an interesting change. The LMS and Southeast Asia, two regions that had been very dominant in the airport speedrun category, were merged into the PCS. This merging meant that now there were going to be fewer teams from those regions to compete with, but the teams that did come would be even more formidable than before.
What is Rogue doing?
And indeed, PSG Talon did manage to eke out a 2-hour, 46-minute, and 43-second run, securing the world record for the new
Rogue
region.
lost to PSG?
But 2020 is not remembered for PSG. It's remembered for a particular moment coming from a particular North American team.
10-man sleep.
Life's gonna save one. Will it be enough though? Ornhorn comes out, will not find the knockup. An ulti backwards now for Broken Blade. 5-on-5 still happening. Rascal gets hooked in. Stoneplate will time out. Can TSM find the first kill? Speaker's gonna get in. That is a 5-man sweep. If TSM can't win this, what will they? 1-for-0. The burn on Rascal just not enough. A single kill on only a support. Can't believe they couldn't get more. Well,
TSM came up with maybe the most incredible airport speedrun ever, and people noticed. Their run captured the hearts and minds of fans across the world, and brought more viewers and new runners to the category than
LGD
ever
Peanuts,
before.
oh my god.
It wasn't enough to get the record, but people knew North America would get the record for real eventually. It was only a matter of time.
Did NA get the record?
With new runners and new eyes on the category, everyone wanted to get the record now more than ever. North American teams in particular were itching to finally get the record once.
No way, Mad Lions couldn't have gotten
but
it. They got out of
just
groups.
couldn't seem to get a sub-3-hour run, let alone the record. For a while, it looked like China's LNG Esports might get the record with an incredible first 3 games, but in the end, they were still 8 minutes short, and so 2021 was yet another year ending in failure. But then came 2022. The 12th World Championship saw some of the best runs of all time.
Really?
The longest run at the whole event was 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 54 seconds from China's top esports, and 2 teams got sub-3-hour runs. But it was more than that. For the first time ever, it was North American teams that managed to get the sub-3-hour runs. Evil Geniuses started off with an incredible sub-24-minute game and kept the momentum throughout the entire event.
Nice.
But Cloud9 was back after years of irrelevancy in the category.
Shit, we're in draft?
Run it back. Run it back.
We're in draft, we're in draft. We'll finish that after.
And I respect it, but I
We'll
don't
finish
think
that
it's
after. That's a good
champ
video.
diff on the top side. I think it was an execution diffy.
Yeah, because what if he plays Rumble again or something? Now, of course,
The airport, they actually like counted the game
It does
times.
feel like not what
Jack's
won the game
Ben.
necessarily. Though again, I would say
Nocturne
it was
Ben.
Loud's own plays that was why they didn't win the game. And so in that sense, you just remove something that maybe Robo had a little bit of a frustration against, and otherwise it seems
I
like
can
they
see
are
his screen. He's
confident
first picking
to
Rakan.
Run it back mostly the same. This time instead maybe opting to take away the Rakan part of the Xayah Rakan combination like that.
I think there's also something that goes understated in the world of League of Legends is the mental jujitsu you must master as a coach to get your players into the right headspace. Sometimes you just have to say, yeah, guys, it was the Cassante. Just ban the Cassante.
Yeah, guys, you definitely just int the game away. That champ was a problem.
Cassante was the issue. We got it on the next one.
You know what? The Rakan, got to get rid of it.
Yep.
I will also
I feel
say
like the
Nautilus
drafts are getting
Def,
kind of
that
obvious,
fun
aren't they?
went way up that game. 7
Wow,
drafts, I believe it was,
Zyrel. Who'd have thought that was coming?
into
Ah,
that,
if they
and
first pick Rakan.
understandably, not wanting to do that again.
Yeah, I think the struggle.
I
right
wonder
now
if they're
that
going to
I'm
pick
having with the
Kaisa
way the
now.
draft's playing out is you
Or
have
if they're
to
going to
pick
play
Rakan
some
for
other
someone
AD
who doesn't
carry.
trading for the
I wonder if they're
well,
going
which
to
is also another pretty
maybe pick a
high
jungler here like Lee Sin
And
again.
I think in general,
Or
I prefer the
Sejuani.
Xayah,
Or
the Xayah
Viego.
Kaisa matchup. If you want to make the game about bottling, which I think both
Or
sides
Orianna
of the
maybe.
game tend to do. That said,
I guess
Round
it's a
with the
bit
more
more,
mobile
it's a bit
champion
less
can
obvious than it was at the start of the year.
I would argue
The start of the
even
year
better
was
than Xayah
fucking
in a lot of
horrible when
situations
it came
with
to
that extra
draft.
mobility, with the
Bro,
invisibility,
you could
the
predict the
cleanse.
draft before the bans. It
Maybe
was
he
that
can
bad.
take over this game.
Yeah, I think Xayah also slightly better lane phase, but if Routes
Lucian,
is
Nami,
I win
Zeri,
both sides
Lulu,
of this matchup. I think I'm
Maokai,
better than this guy in lane. And I
Sejuani.
feel like the Kaisa, like you said, is maybe covering for some of Slater's late game playmaking.
Vi.
Is what Slater also popped
Wukong,
off on in his series yesterday. Maybe this is a takeaway as well, saying, okay, this was annoying. So this time around, you know, they have just straight up stolen the bot lane of GAM from last game, saying we're going to pilot this better. The only difference is
Syndra's nice.
be on the Rel most likely, though of course it could flex.
Syndra, nice champ. I like Nautilus here though. I like Rel.
Yeah, I think not
I
necessarily.
like Rel jungle.
I, mean,
I like Syndra.
Fantastic jungler. Play anything.
I like Lee Sin on 4 here for GAM. I like a Lee Sin ban for Loud.
I would like to see him on
I like a Nico ban for GAM, maybe.
Maybe that's fandom
Do I like a Nico ban?
I remember him in his
I like an Ari ban. Do I like an Ari ban? Do I like a Nico ban?
I like what Loud put together now. I think the Jarvan is an excellent addition.
Orianna
ban
could be good as well.
Previous pick ban phase by Loud to stop GAM from getting it later in the game. That's why they went for the Nocturne. But when you have a Zion on the enemy team,
I like Lee Sin ban for Loud, and I like.
Maybe this is one of those plans champions that doesn't seem.
I don't know their champion pools, to be honest.
But this champ has looked damn good.
It's also a champion that can get outplayed if you're on top of your stuff. So I like the Syndra takeaway here to play into because you can knock him out of his.
It's annoying banning against Rel flex from right side.
Very quickly again once you have 2 items.
Because you don't know if it's Rel jungle or support, obviously.
But you can also buffer it on the.
That Loud coach has the drip.
If you're cracked,
I don't actually think you can do it intentionally.
What is that jacket? It's like it doesn't fit.
Because if you are in your Q animation, it's not the hardest read.
Once the drag has begun, she can interrupt it on reaction if you're.
Orianna ban like it.
So should be fine.
But that's something that Kadi was probably.
He always has the drip. I mean, he's got some nice boots. His boots are fucking sick. I like his boots.
Yeah, that was the pick we were most skeptical about. So I think we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt this time around.
No, I think the half jacket's cool. It's not that I'm not saying it's not fitting because it comes down to here. It's just the back of it around his neck looks a bit weird.
All situations, but definitely still a high tier, S tier mid laner.
Oh, maybe it didn't look weird. It was a camera angle. I don't know. From the camera angle, it looked like it was out here.
I have a ball on my head and I'm running kind of quick, and that can still be punched through. So no surprise. As well, individually, like we said with the J4, you can stun him out of it. And Kadi's most played champion is the Syndra, so cool to see him back on that.
Wukong Syndra with Jarvan.
Also most played for
Is
Levi.
it Ari again? Don't pick Ari again.
Comfort picks here.
Por
Actually, all
favore.
these are their most played through Summer Split for GAM thus far.
GAM, maybe just trying to close it out clean. Playful for comfort, playful for execution. A lot of the game was just about individuals.
Robolaf.
But the Olaf, it was banned previously. This time
Robolaf.
get a shot at it. You can do the Jarvan Thunderdome combo where you lock someone in with the Olaf.
Or lock him out.
Or lock him out.
Robolaf.
Yep, Olaf's natural counter is a wall. Can't do it, hasn't been able to do it as long as he's been a champion. 2027, I'm sure they'll rework him and he'll have 6 dashes.
Hey,
but
Flash Ghost, man. Screw TP.
They're putting a lot of walls together to have an Olaf on their team. That's the only thing I will say. So again, we're in a situation where Loud has put a high burden of execution.
What shirts are you gonna wear in Weibo vs G2?
But I am concerned.
They've opted into all this blind.
You'll see. I got a surprise shirt.
Yet. Of course, this is a pretty frustrating composition to play against because if you take something range like a Gnar, let's say, if you go for that, yeah, you might be able to survive.
I got a surprise shirt.
Individually against Robo, you might be able to, as long as an axe doesn't land at you, play at range so you don't get chased down the whole lane.
Well, the thing is with G2 Weibo, I want them both to win. So what I'll do is I'll wear the Weibo jersey, okay? And if they start winning, I'll take it off and show the G2 jersey underneath. Okay. Then if Weibo start winning again, then I'll put it back on. It's not hard, is it? Okay. I want both of them to win. So I don't mind.
Route and Sales going to be free farming bot side while Talia and Jarvan try to blow open the top side of the map is what this game plan is looking like.
Yeah, tomorrow's the draw show.
I think overall,
tomorrow is the draw show.
They have a bit more of a stable composition. Certainly some more agency for Route in this game to follow up on the plays his teammates are making rather than just having to be a solo GAM have a fantastic
I'm kind of digging
with this Wukong,
the GAM draft.
Rel. It's super disgusting if they can make it work. And I'll be honest, looking at their regional games, they can make it work. So Loud going to have to play with a certain level of respect, be diligent on their vision control. This is a game where I expect one team will just take over the early game because we haven't really seen a close early game from these teams yet. It's been super dominant from one side or the other.
No, and once again, it's a similar story as the previous game where Loud will have a lot of the tools in their back pocket to do that early game however they want to do it. And it will be reactions coming out of GAM. The difference is where that pressure is going to be going. A lot of it was on the bot side. The Atrix was on the weak side, just trying to survive. This time around, it's all going to be going to the top side. So different location of the game plan, but largely still
M Nauk, thanks for the 5 gifted subs.
Snowball early because if you're not able to do that, Olaf is going to have a really tough time team fighting.
Thank you for the 5 gifted.
Of GAM.
Yeah. Tricky. I think it's tough when we come to a game like this. I think the best thing you can do as a fan and as a viewer is kind of reset expectations.
Have you run ads? We don't need to run ads now. We don't need to run ads. There's been enough ads ran in the last hour, so we're good.
But I think that was kind of the biggest question coming out of game one. Is like, yeah, you can run it back, you can pick a composition that's high execution, but
I tried to push all the ads as much as possible during the break. So you might get like hit by ads during the break a lot, but then I'll... Wait! Catty, you have no items! Catty! Not again!
Well, this game is full of unknowns.
Not again, he has no items!
What you will get if you connect your League of Legends account with Prime Gaming. You're gonna get an exclusive emote. It's experiment. So do that.
Heimerdinger fans,
guaranteed input, guaranteed.
Oh, he realized!
Like League of Legends.
Oh my god.
Solo queue, you queue up. Are you guaranteed to get LP? No, not so much. If you link your Prime account,
I'm guaranteed to be upset when I play
solo queue. True.
Guaranteed to rage flash.
Summoning the spirit of Croc.
No, it's not. Don't do that.
Toxic. No,
obey the summoner's code.
Is that still a thing? I haven't made a new account in a while to see what the process is.
What do you mean? You have one account. Surely you wouldn't smurf.
Surely no one has other accounts.
No. We all have one account.
Listen, we've all been there. We've all been there. We've all forgotten to buy items. Every single one of us. It's happened to you once in your life. I'm sure of it.
I thought it was maybe just going to steal it away. They had enough vision down where they have a ward to know that there's no one up there. It does take some time.
The day is coming.
Teleport, but you can do some cheeky stuff with those level 1s on Olaf. You want to just
I've forgotten to buy items.
Get low, run back into the lane, and use the red buff to heal up as well. Like, you can do some of that stuff, but not one.
I played against a team who forgot to buy items on stage. I was against Splice in 2018. Was it 2018? No, 2019.
Awkward.
I was against Splice, and their bot lane forgot to buy items.
See if Robo, who has not opted to take a TP, instead opting for the Ghost to get something done here, pull off in the early game if he hits axes and is willing to burn through that entire mana bar, as we might see right here, can just
oh, he should not miss that
in the early trades. But a whiffy on that axe is costing him.
Still not too bad.
This chat is mental. Some guy in chat writes, but Yasuo never forgets his key.
Plating to make sure that you have the ability in the future to actually go ahead and do that. So I do like playing the matchup aggressively like that. You're going to trade back, but of course, Olaf, when he gets lower, actually gets bonuses for getting low. So you're mind controlling him into hitting you.
Are you telling me you're rewarded for losing trades?
Those are my favorite kind of champions.
Whoa, Croc pathing is aggressive.
The only ones I can play. Cough, cough, Neela, cough, cough. Neela Center. Very good. Anyway.
I mean, Jarvan wins.
Passing, red buff advantage, quick flash out from Levi.
Jarvan wins so hard.
And again, Croc.
Not even close.
In these early levels.
Wukong level 3.
Doing good. Leveraging his
champion's
early strengths well. Keep it going, Croc. Don't lose track. Don't get lost in the sauce.
I mean, that's exactly what you want to see. We talked about the pressure that's going to be on the
I'm surprised he's not pressuring harder.
Robo, but you can also use that pressure
like
to
taking
go
enemy
Crocs.
Krugs.
Jarvan is an exceptionally good champion at that. You
Why
burn
didn't he take Krugs?
Levi's flash. Not like Wukong is a super proactive pre-6 jungler anyways, but just putting him on the back foot, putting him behind, getting that red buff away. Tinones, I think, had the inside track there before Kati got this shove now. So you can see them working together now. A 3-man pincer.
Kati was really far
clean League of Legends. You get bot prio, you
Show
got
me
jungle
EQ flash.
advantage, you're going to flash and you get the slow first. Now trying to
you
go for the
EQ
knock.
now.
Going to fish for the knockback. But Kati just going against flash and safety. And instantly EQ in the flick back. Oh my god, Loud! That was clean as hell.
The patience out of the Loud.
Sometimes what you can do is you can flash on top of them, and if you're on top of them in melee range, and Rakan is here, you can just EQ. And either he's flashing into your EQ and your Rakan Ws, or he's flashing to the side, and Rakan EWs.
Really well done.
He just needs to get Syndra flash, so they don't miss both. You just need to hit one. But yeah, Rakan W got the first flash,
he
so
burned
it's
his
fine.
disengage ability and died. Fantastic from Loud.
Did cost some resources.
2 CCs, 1 flash.
Happy to do. Put this Syndra on the back foot. It's
Someone
one of those
take the L and
areas
go
where
first.
you can rig the Talia out, and she's roaming all over the map, influencing these
or
other
you can
lanes. That's
cancel
exactly what you want to do. You don't want to get trapped in this lane phase versus the Syndra. And now, eventually, they'll be able to get this up to the top side. Really, really great play out of Croc and Seos. The combination there looked incredible.
Yep.
Stop
and again,
spamming the did I ask
a lot of these early games so clean. Leveraging whatever pressure point they have. In this game it was top lane, and last game it was bot lane to invade, to put pressure on Levi, who has been playing a lot of these level 6 junglers to slow him down, transition that pressure into the mid lane, and in this case, 2 games in a row, essentially do the exact same play, but flipped, coming from the top side instead of the bottom side, finding that kill in the mid lane, setting themselves up for early success. The name of the game now, and the question on many Louds fans' minds, I'm sure, is can they transition it into something more?
And this is something as a fan that can be extra frustrating when you see the high points and end up in winning positions to then later fall out of them. It's not just
let's go Loud, come on.
enough or we got rolled the whole time. It's this like bitter regret of we could have won that game 1, we could be 1 game up right now, and on the verge of
E does so much base damage for a level 1 spell, doesn't it?
The main stage at the advancement match, tomorrow.
It feels like a promotion.
You did a good job, you get a promotion.
Yeah.
The myth.
Ooh. That's going to be an interesting fill topic. We're going to save that one.
You don't want to touch
later.
that one? You
nope.
don't like that hot potato I threw at you?
No, no. You know, I'll leave that one for somebody else to touch on. Tinones touching on these minions, pushing them in.
He's walking these minions?
Making his way down mid is Robo. Just going to heal
Gnar losing lane to Olaf.
Looks like a frozen wave.
Well, Gnar gets more range as he levels up.
No surprise.
And if he's short range early, and you have to walk up and hit an Olaf, all Olaf does is he throws his Q and you're
Level
fucked.
6 coming in from Tinones, though, does mean that this is the part of the game where you will hopefully start jumping on top of Kiaya, or at least comboing with Jarvan in some capacity to make a play. Here this is, yet again, going to take another look at this one. Like we said, just really heads up play. If you EQ in first, you get buffered out of it by Kati's E, so you just flash W and start autoing with red buff. That gives also a gap close for Sailors to land up
but
for
you have
the
jump.
Ignite, and finally Kati
It doesn't matter, you're slow.
away, and that's when you do your EQ combo. So just super, super well done. Love seeing that out of the team. Heads up play, knowing what
Why are you saying, what is Blood saying?
Yeah, and there was really no right choice for Kati there. I think maybe even the flash you could debate he didn't need to burn just to kind of accept his fate. Because the second the Rakan W's in, you're essentially saying, all right, use your ability now, or Jarvan will EQ after. So as long as you have 2 forms of CC there is actually no counterplay for Kati. There's nothing that can be done as long as Loud
Gnar doesn't get extra range? Yeah, he does.
Or horribly miss them.
Doesn't he get 100 extra auto attack range from level 1 to 18?
Will not. Pallet still standing. Slater firing back here. Some good use of the feathers as Tinones spotted out by Levi. Early Talia damage solid, but not nearly enough to find a burst kill there.
Yeah,
Gnar has mini Gnar gets 100 attack range.
No wall coming in to show up in the bot side, turn that in from a 3v2 to
Depending on
a
his level.
4v2. Kiaya doing a good job.
He does!
Keeping up with Robo. Robo's still
chat,
getting all
blast
the CS,
this
of course, but having pressure in this matchup that we thought would be maybe a little tough.
Well,
and to get the counter pick, but
the big thing right now is Kiaya just really wants to shove this wave in. He has not had a chance to back yet. This is big. Immediate ult now coming in, forcing the flash out.
Look!
Traded for
Gnar!
Heads up play
Mini Gnar. Bonus range per level.
Despite being at a health discrepancy,
He gets bonus range per level.
And Kiaya not backing sooner, costing him pretty dearly in that exchange.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that wave in, greeting out for a little bit, gets punished. And
Stop saying one guy. It wasn't even one guy. It was like fucking 100 guys.
Absolutely massive, knowing if you can just hop on
You
in there,
edited
blow all your cooldowns, blow somebody up, and now that guy has no flash. This puts him on a 5-minute window where he has to be very aware of any time Tinones dips out of vision to the top side of the top mid lane, excuse me. Because at any moment he can come flying up there, cut you off, and if your E is going to get burned early, you have no other escapes.
Something that has to be respected, and something that I'm curious to see if Loud are going to be able to capitalize on. Tinones once again, he has mid trio, has recently recalled.
So that's why Gnar Olaf is quite hard, because you don't have the extra range.
Side of the map, and look at that.
So you get blasted early.
They're ready to
One
punish.
Q hits, GG.
Yeah, he wants to go place a little bit of vision. The rocks are already laid down. There's
he didn't knock him into the stun.
Takes him away, and he can just hop over the wall. So, philosophy correct. Execution / damage output not significant. His route is now going to be in
Dracos is
here.
just going like, he can't just jump over the wall.
Just to make it out.
And then he's like, ah.
I think I saw one frame of stun.
All right. Calm down.
Bro, I'd be laughing so hard on the cast.
No one knows who that is, so I can make that reference. I could just say anything's a Captain Jack. 80% of our viewership has no idea
that
what
would pass by
means.
most people's Captain Jack. Technically, it was very, very clean, of course. Just nitpicking a little bit. And it's cool because there was a thread on Reddit actually talking about how many people remember that. I'll save that because there's a dive coming in.
Ooh, flag and drag with the flash to extend. Kiaya now in trouble. There's nowhere for him to go. He hops, skips, jumps, and dies. But he will get one back in return. Questionable, a little bit of a fumble there. But ultimately, while Jarvan does give up his life,
why is Jarvan tanking?
He's got no TP.
Why is Jarvan tanking if he's EQ flashing underneath the tower?
Grab 2 plates. Absolutely still worth it. You're able to get the kill. And then the assist goes over, so it's a little bit more than just a 1-for-1.
He's EQ flashing under tower. Dracos always does this thing where he's like, something bad happens, or like, you know it's obviously int, and he's like,
being committed there means that he has no way out, but the knockup was clean. They get the kill, and like we said, absolutely still.
It always cracks me up every
time.
time.
In this matchup, it's gonna feel pretty bad. Most certainly.
He always has like really low level sarcasm that he.
How lane focused is it? It looks like we're just gonna go Hydra.
The nice thing about trading Flash for Ghost as well, if you're playing the Olaf side of this matchup, is once that's going to be a faster cooldown for you, so you can just do that again, and then you have your Flash to follow his Flash later on.
Sounds like you missed casting.
Difficult from behind for the Gnar.
I just think the humor side of casting is funny.
So it becomes an even longer lane. Anytime you step forward, Robo can effectively chase you down if you have those summoners mismatched. So this is the game plan, once again for Loud, going extremely well.
Yeah, and this is part of the reason we saw the Olaf band away. You know, one of these niche picks that can disrupt the flow of the game so well. Robo playing it well thus far, getting the support from his team to punish, and Gaia still finding decent trades, but it's hard. If you don't kill him on the all-in, he's going to heal up so quickly. He's got the Dorans, plus the Vamp Scepter, plus natural Olaf kit. So
is that volume better?
Has to be ready to go all in, ready to pull the trigger, but Robo just walks up. You see C immune, immediately just flashes on top of him. Bit of a fumble though, and the axe not quite connecting, and now, ooh, instant knockback, Kiaya!
Oh my.
This should not be allowed! What is this Gnar doing? He's just killing two grown-ass men on the top side of the map. Look at that Yordle go!
You're not trapped in here. I butchered the quote already. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. Kiaya surviving the instant Gnar ultimate as the J4 ult came through. Robo's ultimate timed out as well, so he was not CC immune. He got stunned up on the Jarvan wall there, and then that allowed Kiaya to turn that 2v1 around.
Oh my
this
god.
This was assembled alternatively. It was built different. Shuts the play down, and what
that was gold.
PowerPoint. Loud is now a lot harder, and Olaf is still stronger in the 1v1.
Sorry, I like inhaled my fucking saliva.
Now. We're getting closer to the Triforce, buying more and more components. The trades are going to be easier. So this is the first dive that comes through where he is able to get that kill back. And this, you know, while it does
I would have
Jarvan,
lost my shit in the cast.
Well executed.
I would just be laughing so fucking
hard. Ideally, Robo takes her first. Jarvan survives. Drop the Herald afterwards. Here's the second one where the axe missing lets the ultimate time out there, which then allows the Gnar ult to kill Robo, or at least stun him against the wall so then you can kill Croc and then chase down with the double buffs onto Robo as well. That axe missing was critical there. They might still struggle to get the kill anyways, but at least with the ultimate timing out, it becomes a lot easier for Kiaya to turn that one around.
Yeah. Oof. Big oof. That was the perfect Gnar series of plays. They're hitting you when you're mega. They're trying to run away from you when you're mini. Yeah. You got everything you want. Like that is the picture perfect Gnar moment. You get to ult
no Ocean Soul, kind of sad.
It's awkward. It's awkward when your teammate brings the steel chair into the ring, and then your opponent uses the steel chair that your opponent brought.
I love how many wrestling puns we're making for the fact that neither of us watched.
I don't know either. It's so great.
Oh, round two?
It's great.
No,
I just didn't have
bro, Robo's missing the
kid.
second axe on every engage.
He's getting walked on. Walk forward.
Getting killed.
And he's shielding, and he's dead. And again, the reason that doesn't look super cool and flashy is because Gnar built an advantage in a play that absolutely did, and now he just gets to run top lane.
And this is similar to
game's
game
over,
one.
I think.
The wheels came
even
off
though the game's
earlier,
even, I think the
a little
game's
more
over.
Dramatic this time around.
Maybe not. I don't know, but this Gnar is going to be so strong.
Point early on where they wanted to snowball this game is now suddenly able to win the 1v1, especially when he had that red buff. But now at 4-1 and 0, he probably has Triforce on this.
This Gnar is going to be super OP.
Well ahead of the Olaf and continue to just kind of control the side lane. And suddenly, Tinones has to find other places to make plays on the map.
Sunder Triforce complete.
That can be difficult against Azaya.
Well, and you're in a position now as for Loud where you need to start getting very creative with this Olaf because the lane dominant version of this Olaf has now failed. So you need to find a way to abuse this kit elsewhere on the map because you're not going to get it in the 1v1. Which is a tricky thing to do. And I got to say, a lot of people, you know, with all the Adam memes, they're going, Garen is the G in gods. I think Gnar here is, I don't know.
Olaf is the O in dogs as well as the other version of that meme that we haven't seen too much talked about. And there you see it. Not many buttons.
I can't focus, man. If I was casting this, I can't focus.
Is usually how Olaf is played, and that's why, like you said, trying
complete
to find ways
degeneracy.
to use this kit from behind in other places
I love
in the
it.
lane can be very, very difficult, or at least in 1v1s. It's kind of
all right, Leander's complete. Sunder complete. Triforce complete.
And I think if you treat the Olaf with respect, the Olaf will look
only
useless
1.3.
the rest of the game as you take a look at the
MasterCard lane economy snapshot. But Olaf is a champion, similar to the Darius, Garen, a lot of those other picks that we're talking about that have been showing up in Adam's champ pool, and now other champ pools as well as Robo. Very much known for this Olaf. These are champions that if you
Little bro thinks he's on the cast.
Disrespect them, can still do a lot of work in team fights.
And flashing back to game 1, we memed about the snapshot looking not that bad for Robo, but he was actually getting trashed in that game as well. So it's a little surprising to see the game plan flip up to there, which seemed to be one of the strong points for GAM. And say, hey, this is now going to become our win condition.
I'm on the cast, I promise.
We're going to put a little bit more resources into him, but this is the primary strategy of our composition. And Ki is showing, hey, probably not a good idea to attack me.
Yeah.
Maybe you focus on other parts of the map
Herald's
that you
up.
were winning earlier, such as
GAM can't really get mid push.
Yeah, and I
They're
feel
matching
for
Talia
Tinons,
bot.
who had a pretty solid Ahri game outside of that one hiccup where he just kind of wandered past a Rakan. It's tough for him now because he really needs to be the one that can do a lot of this damage while Route is farming until Route has 1 or 2 items, which he's getting closer to.
Aren't you worried about your lack of social interactions now that you're not going to the studio?
He needs to be the one that does the damage here. The Jarvan's not super far ahead and the Olaf is not ahead, so that burst is going to have to come from him.
No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. You guys are my friends, right?
The guy who's supposed to win you the game in the mid to late
You guys are
game.
my friends, right?
Can help down the frontline members, but
you have a parasocial relationship with me. I have a parasocial relationship with you.
Dodge out on the rail. Here comes the Wukong. Or watch out for them fishing with stuns. And oh, is that a Gnar getting mega? I guess I gotta back up. There's all these tools available for GAM now that we're heading into the grouping portions of the game.
No, fuck
you can see Loud doesn't even want to contest it. They're saying, okay, yeah, that Rift Herald's yours. And when did you decide now is the time to group when you're already on the back foot against a team that's going to scale better than you?
Yeah, I don't know. Need to find a way to get out of the house next year.
It's a hard
at least next week I'm going to Korea, so I'll be in a hotel instead of the house. Easy clap.
Robo just taking a bit of a chunk here. In the 1v1 with ultimate.
And I get to see hysterics. I get to see hysterics in Korea.
Work against the Cinder. Has to be careful about when he chooses to ult, but Route and the rest of Loud taking control of the mid lane. Looks like they're trying to
Kobe.
set up a Drake
I want to see
here.
Kobe.
5 seconds left till the Chemtech. It's one Drake.
I want to see Kobe. I love Kobe.
To grab both of the early Drakes.
Kobe is so funny.
Yeah, Katy has TP, so able to finish farming that out.
I don't know why every time I talk to Kobe, I'm just laughing.
There is Gore Drinker. There's an Olaf. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't hate it. I know there's always the debate about
like who should get healing reduction, or do you mean the debate about how good is healing reduction?
How good is healing reduction? I feel like LS and I accidentally bullied the designers into improving the tooltip on healing reduction while talking about regen not being cut and stuff like that because
of Second Wind. Was that last year?
That was last year's champion where Silas would build,
every melee laner would have Second Wind and Dorans. And
why does Zaya have 150 gold shutdown?
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
7 CS up,
Oblivion Orb, and there's a whole
and
debate,
she's about a quarter of a level up.
But I think here, maybe depending on the gold, and you're feeling like, hey, if we just crush them in one of these mid-game fights, it's over. And
the game is pretty much even.
Game, and this is
Towers,
the
dragons wise.
PowerPoint item I can get potentially for a mid-game team fight.
Zaya doesn't have a kill, I think, either, does she?
Priority there.
I don't know.
Didn't have to go for the Drake. Instead, can use their Herald to try to break in mid lane, seeing the Olaf is not in the area. The Crash plus the extra few autos should be able to clear this out. Wall coming in to stop them from going through.
How funny would it be if the Herald crashed into the wall?
Stop the mid lane tower from breaking. Olaf does now have a flank angle, but he will be spotted on some vision. GAM, are they feeling confident enough to pull the trigger on this objective? Excellent use of the Void Seeker will spot out Caedrel.
Yeah, Olaf is in the flank, and I think GAM is at least
partially
aware of it. I don't think he's exactly spotted out quite now. You can see a question mark thing, assuming correctly where he is, but GAMmer seemed content to take this one relatively slow. I thought they would have forced this objective a little bit harder and found someone to turn onto.
I guess their read is
that
Jarvan
has no boots, like unironically.
And Loud seem to share that read now as they kind of bully their way into position here.
Yeah, to be fair, the gold lead is about equal.
Oh, Katy's getting poked.
Are equal as well.
Brock's getting one shot.
And more than enough to come through there. Kia now unstoppable, just going to start to run forward.
Oh, shit.
Flick back, disengage is there. GAM should just be able to take the objective for free. Robo still hovering around the bottom side of the pit, but
they're pinging top. I think maybe Tinons is going to TP top.
He only got partial credit there for that.
Maybe they can get top tier 1.
Yeah, there you see it. Very clean, easy play as Loud step forward.
Okay,
you're able to land.
But Katy should match maybe. No, yeah, match good.
Blow up, Croc with no smite available, very easily taken there. And I can respect this. GAM is not under pressure to force the dragon. We're saying, I thought they could start it. They could do this or that. They don't need to because
hey, Robo.
Slow.
Hey, Robo.
Try to lock him up. A nice
what the hell was that flash? Where's Bro going?
Crazy. Very over-aggressive. They're going to try to make this work, but Robo's dead. That was a little sunken cost fallacy moment there. They committed the ulti, decided to commit the flash as well.
Yeah, that one reeks a little.
It's the Dracos classic. He's like,
wheels are well and truly
yeah,
off
that was.
Not able to contest contest the objective. Your jungler drops for free. You try and punish someone on the exit of the objective take.
Why are you saying Caedrel Olaf? I don't even play Olaf.
Finish exiting yet. Ends up in a 2v3 situation. Here you see it just Croc wanting to walk forward to get that E down over the wall for vision, puts him in range for that stun combination. Well punished by Kati on his most played from Summer Split. And then here, like we said, you know, the objective's being finished off. You're trying to get this little kill maybe if Sales was a little closer and you could lock him up in the lane. But then by the time you're flashing over the wall to people that you just saw finish the dragon is definitely an overcommitment at that point. You could have been happy.
If that was Adam,
just
triple kill.
Get his fun.
True.
Ooh, nice flash from Tenones. Good reaction speed. The flick not quite going to connect on the Kati there. Black Cleaver now finished from the Gnar. Gaia getting stronger and stronger as Crocs once again on the top side. Yeah, and these are the things, it's tough because I get the blood in the eye.
How does he have magical footwear?
There, if you can get on top of your target, if you can stick
Wasn't the dragon fight? It's 20 minutes in? What?
That is the power of this pick, no matter how far behind it is, but...
Didn't they fight dragon at like 17 minutes?
Got cut down. And again, for Loud...
Wait, how does he have footwear?
Can't afford to have
17?
many more moments like that in this game because Slater is continuing to scale up while essentially being part of very little of this game.
Oh, wait, he sold his magical footwear, and when you buy them back, they're still magical footwear?
Easy for GAM as we get later into the game. Yes, Talia can disrupt it with the Unraveling Earth, but
they're not just boots of speed?
Not quite as simple.
Oh, I didn't know that.
As it is for GAM once again.
Huh,
no,
I didn't know that actually.
Like at this point, it's
I didn't know if you sell magical footwear, you can buy them back as magical footwear. But how much gold did you lose then by doing that?
Not quite able to catch the same Blast Cone Express.
How much does magical footwear sell for?
From Robo. I appreciate he's not giving up. Yeah, completely stepped off the gas here.
They
Still
sell for 120.
Plays, but like we said, the map pressure is completely on GAM's side now. They just dropped the top turret. They're grouping up a little bit here around mid to finish this one off. Already weakened by the Rift Herald charge. This 5-man
everyone's just
push.
saying 420. I'm
a little bit ahead of the play. No minion wave here yet.
Yeah, and we're in this awkward period
Sells
where
for 90, you lose 210.
Neither side has such a commanding gold lead that anyone can really go for Baron.
So he just basically used it like Futures Market.
That said, GAM, no, both sides have a pretty good Baron clear. Obviously, Kai'Sa passive and Xayah Feathers, once they have 2 items, are going to be strong. And currently, Route is ahead. We talked about Route being the center of attention for this team. He is at 2 items. He has an item advantage. There is a world where they can fight
that was really close to getting hit by Syndra Sun. Yes, Merc Treads, I guess.
Difficult is both sides mostly are just squaring up. Like, I feel like we've been stuck at the weigh-in portion of this MMA bout for quite some time.
Yeah, they are staring each other down in the NA round, just clenching fists at each other, being like, if you go on me, I'll knock you out. But then they both just agree to go back to their side waves, push them again. There's no neutral objectives really on the table. Yes, Baron is up, but it's something that neither team is in the position to force down. And neither team side lanes particularly well. Of course, if Robo is way ahead and he's chasing the Gnar up these long lanes, like we said, great. And from ahead, Gnar can kind of do the same thing, but both are just kind of content to trade waves in the group.
Yep. That's one of the nice things, especially about the
well, 2 item completions.
Aside from the sustain is you just delete waves so quickly. So
Drake in 120. Yeah, GAM's Baron isn't the fastest, so I think they're just going to hold mid, put a little bit of vision top, and then fight Drake.
Support's just hanging out. Pallet lives in this brush now. He pays rent here. Very expensive. They marketed it as a studio apartment. It is not.
It's a closet.
it's a literal bush in a river.
You show up, the listing had a beautiful picture of some other property that is adjacent to it.
Beautiful lakeside views. So I was like, oh, we meant literally in the river.
It's literally a swamp. You get to stay in.
Not great. That water is not clean. Robo going to walk in. He's going to get some damage down, but that Gnar is getting out because he's got no CC.
No, they're going to go towards Nash, or what?
The trumpet has been sounded. It is time to get on that Baron. Levi going to clear out the vision. And Slater,
no way they're going to start Nash. I mean, I guess Olaf has no TP, but
Xayah
it's kind of crazy to do. It's quite slow.
Interesting to see them not actually commit to this. Of course, Robo having no teleport means if you ever wanted to use that to hop away and brute force the 4v5, they could have done it. But GAM, again, being slightly more risk-averse here. And I think showing that the VCS is not just the jump into the enemy team, fight them.
All I would say is if you watch this region's playoffs, half of the games end with one team
now they're
50-50 a Baron. So sometimes they like the risk, and right now they're going to flip it. GAM did coming in to split the team. 3 members in the pit. This is an opportunity for Loud.
Yeah, they double TP'd for nothing so far.
Walls faded away.
I mean, LLL can just get midwave into tower into Drake.
They've at least zoned
as long as Sales has some walls down. Wait, this is so good for LLL.
But not seeing that as a window of opportunity.
As long as Croc's not getting... Oh my god, don't get caught. You're griefing the whole game. What is he doing? They get mid tower and Drake for free. What is he doing?
Next on a long list of people who are just going to get taken out before this Baron gets started. GAM can turn back. It is now a jungle-less contest coming in from the side of Loud.
Now, no jungler to do it. We'll see if they can win the fight. Still a lot of resources available to do so.
Knockback onto Tindon's big. Immediate follow-up. Now the counter engage comes into the backside.
Oh!
Trying to get a little more damage. Slater, Feather.
Oh!
Right back
Robo!
Available. Can just look to try to re-engage, but he doesn't have a mark on it.
They're all 1 HP.
Now playing bouncer, playing
Where's the card assault at?
Waiting backline. There's so many blinking health bars.
I'm surprised they didn't go harder there. They were so close to finding so many kills. Everyone was low. Robo gets finished off in the backline, and the whole time I'm waiting for Rout's ultimate.
Is Rout gonna one-shot
Drake?
Drake?
Go and kill like 2 people. I don't know if there was no plasma stacks on them, but he didn't feel like
Yeah,
he
where was
chasing
Kaiser?
aggressively forward as
Whoa, I didn't realize Kaiser was alive with ult. What the fuck? Yo, drop the replay real quick, homie.
And I kind of want to
drop the replay.
Right, and that, you know, we can criticize him, assuming
That's
there
a
were
that's a
plasma stacks.
penta.
He could have jumped in and killed 2 people, exchanged his life, but we can see this initial play, and
My
Mark,
man
I
is.
want to love you for your early games, man, but this is the most consistent part of your gameplay thus far this day.
Even in the player camp, you saw him put his hands on his head immediately.
Let's see Root.
They did burn a ton of ultimates to kill him here, and that's why I thought I was surprised to see GAM go
His
for this
W
really
hit the
aggressive
crab.
turn here because you don't have that many summoners up, and then Rout here.
Whoa! Rout could go in.
Go!
Pussy.
That was one of the times. I think Rout has had an incredible tournament there. It was initially scary. There were feathers on the ground. He didn't want to run forward and get rooted up. But I still think you got to get a little bit more aggressive there because you are losing this game. You are getting outscaled.
Pussy.
You're not going to get back into it by
Just send it.
playing
Fuck
slow
it.
and
Who
safe.
cares?
You need to, at some point,
If you lose, you lose. Blame your jungler for getting caught. That's exactly what you do in those plays.
You can ult in the back
In those kind of plays, you shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes. You know why? Because if anyone says you griefed it, you say, no, you fucking griefed it. You got caught on Raptors and I had to 4v5 and I tried my best to win it, but it's your fault that I had to even do that in the first place, idiot. So you're excuse free. Just do it.
That's the general sentiment is now. Robo going to be forced to use the ult defensively, and once again, Levi now finds his way to the back line. Rout flashing out to safety.
Oh wait, Olaf is frying.
Pays off here as he buys himself a bit
Jarvan is
fight still turning against them. GAM, 3 members instantly deleted. Now it is time for Baron. No longer a 50-50, no longer a risk, an easy take here.
Okay,
yeah, that might have been the moment. The previous Baron startup where Loud could have found their way into the game. GAM punishes them for having that slight moment of hesitation here. Camping the brush, but you're an Olaf. You can't brushes particularly well. No hard CC, no way out. So that leaves him forced to ult to get away after Kati was over the wall and the rest of the team.
Yeah, Talia position is not great. Her E is not doing anything. And Kai'Sa is too short range to step in there.
And this is tough. I was feeling optimistic for Loud after the last time these two teams
There's no way the play-ins qualifier is
Yes,
VCS1 versus VCS2. It's literally your domestic finals to get into Swiss stage.
I think he is going to look back on that team fight where he didn't ult in.
All of this just to get cleared by Weibo anyway. Like, what the fuck are we doing? All of this just to get 0.
Because as we said, it doesn't get easier if you don't fight. It's only getting worse now.
Yeah, I'm thinking at this point with the Baron buff down, 4K gold lead in the enemy team's favor, not going to have too many ways to try and get back into this.
All right, focus up.
And I will
it's
say,
not completely lost for Loud yet. Loud's fights are just really...
Doing incredibly well.
I don't know. The thing is, they have Jarvan Olaf, okay? And I'll never forget, I played a game on stage with Expect, and we were playing set top Olaf set top Jarvan jungle. And I think set top Jarvan jungle is similar to Olaf Jarvan, because what happened in fights when we were both fed on stage was I would EQ in an ult, and he would stand outside my ult, being like, "Yo, cancel your ult," and I'm like, "I can't cancel my ult. There's no flash." And I'm like, "Yo, I can't get into your fucking ult then." So. What happens with Jarvan Olaf, I think, is Jarvan goes in and ults the carries, and Olaf stands there like...
Since then, he has done a lot better job, and he is helping the VCS #1 seed potentially advance now to a finals rematch. If you remember, Team Wales is waiting on the other side. That
if he flashes in, they flash out.
That they will have to face if they advance here out of GAM, and a chance for redemption, given that they already beat this team domestically to come out as the #1 seed, and it's going to be a very interesting rematch if they can pull that off to then potentially advance to the Swiss stage.
Yeah. I mean, Slater versus Artemis.
Heyo.
Yeah, but you can cancel the ult. Yeah, but then the carry runs out.
Especially now with Slater performing better, Artemis has looked like one of the best, I think probably the best carry in play-ins thus far.
At least some top laners like, you know, Darius maybe can like E them, you know, or Q. But Olaf can throw an X and then just stand there and dance.
Here we are, GAM. Deja vu.
Maybe we'll see it in the interaction in a fight.
Similar situation.
It's funny interaction.
Slowly, surely sieging in. This time around, though, Kiaya on the Gnar.
Yeah, the winner of this is against the Wales.
Just step up here.
Yeah, using the Baron buff up that cannon minion to pelt down the turret. Nice 4-1 setup here out of GAM. Don't have quite as many global tools available like they had in the previous game. Just doing a good job making sure that Kiaya plays safe in the mid lane while the 4-man tries to sync the waves here. I like this. Waiting for the mid lane and the bot lane to crash at the same time, though. Pallet,
bit of knock up. Pallet gonna make it out to safety. Nice chunky shield coming in there as Gnar is finally gonna hit on the top side tower. About 2 waves were just deleted there by that top lane tier 2, so more money. Whoa! Is now
like here, look at Olaf. Let me in! Let me in!
Take it down so the Olaf can get in, but it might just be too late because Levi's here to turn around. Slater uncontested. Support down. And Levi goes again. The second stack of the ultimate Robo desperate to turn this one back, but they do so much damage. And in goes Slater.
Yeah, it's lost.
Looking to make a montage.
They have too much damage on their carries.
Whatever opportunities you might have had earlier in the game that could have been better.
I swear, has Kai'Sa ult been used this game? I haven't seen Root dive into anyone.
I see it. Doesn't want to take the risk. Doesn't want to go in. Doesn't have flash.
I don't know. Looking a little tough here. I would have expected the all-in send. The rest of the team is
like, what does Olaf do here? Does he just press R? Just press flash in? It's kind of awkward. Like, what does he do?
This time around, it allows the rest of GAM to fight forward so safely, punishing Croc after that hard engage in there. They find these kills.
Yeah, I swear Root is like...
Slater feeling himself with the flash forward there.
It's really hard for... I don't know, I don't even want to say it's hard, but like now it's definitely hard, but like Root has not really...
And it's only getting
How does he go in?
Allowed. And again, you never know in games like this. You
or more like, when does he go in?
Aggressive, over eager. GAM, if they have more confident flashes forward, maybe in more precarious situations, there's an opportunity for Loud to turn. And certainly they still found a couple moments in the previous game, but there was just too big of a goal discrepancy by the time they did, and it might be a similar story in this one as well.
I mean, if you're tracking your ultimate timers, or excuse me, flash timers here, at least you can see that GAM has burned almost everything in that last exchange, and while they did get a lot of kills, they didn't break any inhibitors or even inhibitor turrets, so there's a bit of breathing room here for Loud. Down 9k, you know, to turn this game around here with the flash advantage.
There's a mismatch between your audio and the caster audio.
On GAM side if you find a clean engage, but that is the most copium you'll be huffing today, most likely.
Well, and you know, I think this is tough if you're allowed.
Huh?
Because, you know, game 1, you know, was rough. You built
I hope my audio's
okay.
okay.
This game has just been mostly domination. And
what is medic right? Should change this to a best of 5 so Loud can go LLL.
Okay. When you know that
I swear you made that joke last year, medic, didn't you? Or at MSI? I swear, didn't you tweet something like that?
Maybe bring us to a game 3. I think that's a tough task, but at least have one good, clean fight and show us that they can go toe-to-toe with GAM.
I think this is the time to do it when the next Baron spawns in 40 seconds. Loud will have to contest that. GAM has no flashes this time around if they pin themselves up against some walls.
Oh no, it was like, I think he tweeted like day 1, day 2, day 3, LLL, you are here or something.
A little slow on the ultimate and Croc's knockup lands maybe.
And the Brazilian fans weren't happy about that one.
It's going to be difficult because GAM is checking all the boxes, putting wards out into the enemy jungle right before it spawns, keeping these waves pushed up during this time. So if Loud do want to contest, they have to walk so plainly through vision.
Yeah. And diligence and patience, I think, has been one of the biggest winning characteristics here in playing.
All right, the second this game's over, it's BDS time.
Getting these leads and just playing it out slow, playing it out clean, leaving as little room for the enemy team to find opportunities. And sometimes that'll cost you in a game of League of Legends where you're not capitalizing on your lead enough. But the luxury of GAM's composition and the incredible scaling that they have and the Wombo comp is, if you play clean, if you play disciplined, you're favored in just about every situation.
And even this, so heads up, knowing that you don't need to commit 5 people to do it, like you're talking about with how easily Xayah shreds Baron, just have Kiaya tank it. Jungler playing zoning duty, everyone playing zoning duty, finish off the Baron. No contest even possible out of Loud.
Yeah, and I think that GAM, you talked about the flash cooldowns earlier, clearly not making any big, bold plays at this stage of the game. Diligent, and again, careful around the Baron. But not going for anything crazy, not going for over-aggressive engages. Can just wait for those flashes. Now have the Baron buff. In the duration of the Baron, the flashes will be up and available. And then if they want to go for an aggressive dive or try to find some of these picks, they absolutely can.
Yeah, they also have the Dragon spawning in 2 minutes, Dracos. Maybe they get a Martini.
I got an announcement after this game.
You know,
a big announcement after the game.
This whole time. I would personally love to see them dive and kill the enemy team.
Yeah.
PogChamp.
Again, as a play-by-play.
Retirement.
At a certain point, you're making noise with your mouth to fill space for nothingness in a game like this.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I mean, I think did a good job hitting the beats about how this is going to be redemption for GAM.
The story.
MSI redemption arc here. Slater stepping in.
Yeah, we need to see if there's another chapter here or if the book is already over.
This is that filler arc, you know?
Yeah.
Anime is waiting for the manga to put more out, so you have to go on some
like
random
the beach
adventure.
Yeah. Go get a couple Caprese martinis.
Preze? I don't know how you pronounce that. Ask Andrew.
No idea.
Favorite drink. Yeah, here we are. Slow siege. At a moment's notice, GAM can pull the trigger, or Loud could. But for Loud, they need more than just a good recon engage to find this one.
Route did just finish off his 4th item there. Has Armor Pen now to punch through the Randuin's own in Kiaya.
Slater marked up. Rock, maybe he finds an opportunity. Stun coming through, forced to flash out already.
It's just pulse champ waiting room for team fight.
Them, but GAM do not care.
I don't think Loud can win a team
hitting
fight.
This inhibitor at some point. Loud, with the wall already committed, you think they're just going to have to go. Otherwise, GAM will just do this two or three more times with this Baron buff. Just walk up, hit your inhibitor, take it in front of your face. The game gets worse and worse from there. There's no point in time where it's going to get easier to make these sorts of plays happen for Loud. And if you're just assuming that GAM is going to walk too far forward for no reason, that is a bold bet to make.
I mean, the good news, honestly.
What is this comp?
Again, Silver Cloud.
Yeah, it's funny because Talia wall, Jarvan ult, like Olaf's kind of
where Elder is on the board. That is where GAM have not pushed their advantage enough, because the only way you lose a game with this massive advantage, in my opinion, short of catastrophic misplays or outplays from the opposing team, is Elder getting stolen from you. That amount of combat power nullifies a ton of gold leads.
Imagine if they had Poppy instead of Olaf. Imagine
that's 6 minutes away.
I was going to say, Dracos is signing up for 6 more minutes of Phil.
I am. Maybe not. Go. Kiaya uninterested in Phil. The Rock's coming through. He just sidesteps and kills him. GAM now going to break
That's
in.
1 minute. That's 1 minute in an RSTP.
Knowing he has the full power of his team backing up behind him. Route. All or nothing now. An unfair tax, certainly to put on one player's shoulders, but it's there all the same.
Unless they overdive like psychopaths here, it should be game over.
Their due diligence. Kiaya flip back onto Croc. Croc trying to find the knockup route on touch to the backside for now. Maybe they can get it done.
Zaya free hitting.
Left and right,
Olaf
Levi
dead.
just jumps right on top of him. He goes invisible. Kiaya still stepping.
He ulted!
There's just too many members standing.
Dead.
The damage is good, but it's not enough.
Brazil 07.
Obliterating Loud, knocking them out of the tournament, securing themselves a spot into the best of 5, a chance to make it to the Swiss stage.
Revenge for the day 1, 2-0. GAM takes Loud down this time.
Nice try, Brazil. You were doing well. You had some moments. However,
Wales, winner
it is the VCS rematch of the finals
stage. The dream still alive
for a spot
for
in
VCS
Swiss.
#1 seed.
Certainly is. And again, the turnaround in performance in such a short period of time. Respect to GAM. The discipline we saw,
well played.
Clearly learning from their last matchup versus Loud.
Bye-bye, Brazil.
Getting over eager. It was almost painfully
I will say
I
Croc, I think Croc had a really bad tournament. His early games were fine, but that guy almost solo lost every game.
Way to get there. I appreciate that, kid.
I also appreciate both VCS
that guy was
when
disgusting.
They win, the faces and actions that they make.
Levi!
Who it is on Wales, he always does the,
is it that they do? Is it that? What is it?
But they're always a treat to watch.
What is that for? What does that stand for?
And, I think they earned
Isn't
it.
that the LCK logo? Or is that the GAM logo?
Both times Loud opted into early games. Both 10 minutes were decent for Loud. They got their advantages, but could never convert. These guys were too clean with it. Able to cleanly win this too.
Okay, announcement time. PogChamp.
Because again, I was excited about this team.
Little bro's going to Korea with T1.
Poor performance on the day. I don't want to chalk it up to anything.
It's locked now. It's locked. Flights are booked. Stay is booked. Office is booked. I got one of their streaming rooms.
Very frustrating.
It's locked. I'm gonna meet the Shy. I hope we're gonna do some content with some of the teams. I'm flying next week. I'm gonna be there till the end of Worlds. Till the end of the finals, and yeah, I'm gonna hopefully we're gonna meet some teams, do some content, do some co-streams from the T1 office, make maybe some IRL streams. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see in a second here.
But it's gonna be crazy.
Some more plays on.
It's gonna be.
Was the strong point in
it's gonna be
game
super fun.
Giving them some place on the map that they were winning at least, and then in the mid to late game,
it's gonna be super fun.
And Slater ended
so
up
I'll be around the T1 offices.
Setting the rest of the team up.
I'll be ready to sub in if owner's griefing.
Very, very good game, but it was game 2.
I just want to say thank you to Joe Marsh, because Joe Marsh was like, he was like this. Here you go. Here's an office. Here's the hotels you should stay at. I'm gonna message hotels. This is what you need. You should fly in on these days. I was like, whoa, okay, Joe, holy fuck, I'm there. Joe was fucking crazy. He just fucking he knew it all.
Together for a flawless moment.
So yeah, that's gonna be really fun.
This
what do you mean make a wish, bro? Shut up.
For all the CBLOL fans and for all the Loud fans.
So yeah, we're gonna cover all of Worlds from the T1 office.
In Korea. And again, not the series that they wanted to show today.
That's the announcement. That's gonna be Big Pog.
Wish them nothing but the best of luck in the future. I won't
That's
be
gonna be
surprised
Big
if we see Loud in another international event. We'll see how they reform. Come back stronger, I have no doubt. But
bro, what is this guy tweeting?
CFO
oh, was hoping for a retirement announcement.
Fighting against elimination, but first, let's check out some behind-the-scenes footage of yesterday's action. Thanks to the
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.